Hey everybody!
Hi!
Hello!
Welcome to the Uncommon Trust and QueueTimes present RINGWEB Session 1. Yeah. RINGWEB is a game using the Cipher system in the Numenera setting from Monty Cook Games. So we'll just do a few thank yous to some of the people who help us do this. And then we're going to get right into the story. The story. If you're watching this on VOD, there is a session 0 that we did a week ago that has where we built our characters and all that sort of stuff. You can go back and watch that first if you want to, but it hopefully should not be necessary. I'm going to try to show as opposed to tell as much as I can about the world, but the setting is my pocket of this Numenera setting is original and it's very weird. So some things may not make sense. I can't explain that everything. I can't promise that everything will be explained. Some things will probably stay mysterious.
That's why it's fantasy.
Yeah, but this is a game that's about discovery. So a lot of how you earn XP and advance and all that. It's not what monsters you kill. It's definitely about discovery. Numenera in general as a game. I am Alquin, different elves. I'll be GMing this today. I don't know what the thank you. Good crowd. Yeah, and with me today I have players Ash.
Hi, I'm Ash. Hello.
And Dave.
Hello. Be Dave Walters.
Yeah, you're not gonna be Business Dave today.
I mean, that's the only Dave I got. Yeah,
the B is gonna have to be something. We're gonna have to figure out what the B means in this world.
That is.
I have some thoughts.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And then D'Artagnan. Hello. Thank you. Poisel.
Oh, hello.
And Sam.
That's me!
Are you excited, Sam? Excellent. So yeah,
constantly.
We're as a gaming group, we go by the Uncommon Trust. We play this game. We play other games. I'm not always the GM. In some of our previous games, we've had Poisel and Dave running stuff, and I think many of us at some point are going to be moving seats around and doing different roles. But thank you for supporting us here and any other things that we're in that you watch and like. I also definitely want to thank QueueTimes for hosting this game and being a very, very cool platform. QueueTimes, in addition to having their own game streams, they do some great videos on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to them on YouTube, you should fix that. And you should also follow this channel if you haven't yet already. I know there are a lot of good new things in the pipeline for us and for QueueTimes. So make sure you get notified about all those good things.
Yes. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right. So let's see.
Can I make a quick announcement?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out to one of our good friends here at the stream. It's their birthday today, so happy birthday, Ryan Omega.
Ryan! Happy birthday, Ryan!
So yeah,
I would like to sing, but
I mean,
Poisel was very against it.
are we gonna sing? We're singing. We're gonna sing to Ryan. Like we're gonna do it now. All right.
I want to know if Ryan's watching this.
Oh,
No,
he's gonna have to now.
We'll have a VOD, right?
Oh.
fine,
No,
yeah,
we'll clip it.
Yes,
Go.
lead it off.
Back
You
us
go.
up.
Go.
We're gonna clip it.
Go.
Yeah?
Go.
Yeah? Y'all ready?
I'm ready. Let's do
Alright,
it.
let's
You do it. Lead.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ryan. Happy birthday to you.
It's like way to go in, Sam.
Damn, Poison, you got chords.
It's true.
That's so impressive.
That was beautiful. That was
I
beautiful.
didn't know, you had that sort of soprano thing going on. It's excellent.
Oh, thank you. It's the coffee.
Wait, there's one other thing I guess we need to go ahead and announce then, huh?
So last week it was requested that we create a Discord, so we created a Discord.
We have the Discord. We tend to create Discord everywhere we go, I feel.
And I can pop the link to it right now
Yes.
into the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, do that.
So we are officially sharing the Discord.
This is
You
weird.
guys, this is something
Yes, we are
we-
officially
Place to come
public
hang
now.
out.
Yeah, boom! It's in there.
Yay!
It
No,
says
it
deleted
didn't.
link.
No, it didn't show.
No, you don't have link permissions. Oh no.
Wait, QueueTimes server overlords. We need link permissions for Ash. Yes.
What? Oh.
So we're going to do that. You're going to see it. We're also going to tweet it out from the Uncommon Trust Twitter account, probably.
Yeah, we
and then you'll get all up in that business.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
So yeah.
Come talk.
All right.
Good.
Okay, all right,
Jump over
so-
to Twitter.
There
Follow
we go.
us.
Okay.
It'll be there.
QueueTimes is gonna
He's
post
gonna take
it.
care of business.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just,
Yes.
I just
All right.
Like they do. They're the business
whispered
days
it
today.
to them. But that being said, so this is something we've been working on in our minute spare time throughout the week, but it is an ongoing thing. There is a channel there for mod requests and whatnot, so if you guys have any suggestions, requests, issues, questions, or you just want to chat about all your fun favorite things, feel free to hop to the Discord.
Yeah, because especially if you didn't see your session 0, to recap what we mean by this.
It's posted.
Yay, it's live. With this whole uncommon trust thing is, again, we are essentially establishing ourselves as a group of players that transcend any one show or any one game or any one channel or even any one platform. So we have one Discord for all of the things that we are doing and all the places that we can be found. And if I could just say one thing, this past Friday we started a little game called Vampire the Masquerade LA by Night, and
Yeah, you did.
lots of you tuned in to watch, so thank you.
It was real good.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was really
Thank
good.
you. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
the
it-
Friday
Jason's
lineup
amazing.
on
And
GM Sundry is pretty great right now.
It's true.
Yeah,
Callisto
it's a
6.
double header Uncommon Trust.
There it is.
Yeah.
That is true.
Must see TV on
And,
Fridays.
we got
I
it
guess
locked
last
down.
announcement, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, you can watch me DM some Shadowrun with Sam, Alcuin, and Ash, and the lovely Amy Vorpal, all playing some great Sixth World Action 2075 Los Angeles. So come check it out
Yeah.
It is
on
exactly
Saving Throw Show.
2/3 as world as what we're playing today.
Yes.
With the 6th world and the 9th world.
The Ninth World.
And I'm really excited for what I'm
We'll read
playing.
it afterwards. Hey, thank you all who jumped on the Discord already. Welcome aboard. Ash worked
Yeah.
really hard on the Discord. She's super
We all
humble.
did. We all worked on it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to start this this campaign. I think our projected thing to do is I think we're going to do 4 episodes. So we're going to do this week and then next week at the same time, and then we're going to have a gap while some of the people in our lives do some cool life things.
Sorry, that's me. I'm gonna be at Wasteland.
We all have lives.
What?
I'm also playing a show. It's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, like our
that's fucking going
characters.
on.
Oh, got it.
Whatever, though.
Yeah, and there's somebody getting married, not from this group,
Not
but
us.
but for
Not yet, at least. I'm
um,
looking at you, D'Artagnan.
so yeah, so this is gonna be
Never.
this total self-contained story is gonna be 4 episodes, not counting our session 0 that we had last week. But I want to start this with a poem, and this is something it's kind of like a sort of pledge of allegiance, or it's a sort of mantra that is spoken in greeting between people. One thing that people say in this world, in the village of today, is we go together. And it's something very important, and it comes from something longer, and it goes, yesterday is a wasteland. Tomorrow is unknown. Today is all we have. We go together. All right. So let's imagine like a sort of bird's eye view if birds existed in this world. Your world, the only world you know, is the inside of a great ring. Location unknown. The inside of a great ring. However, your hometown, your village, all you know is the village of today. And the village of today doesn't fill the entire ring. In fact, a lot of the ring is uninhabitable. But the village of today is a funnel web, or like a cylindrical web with layers that occupies about 1 degree's worth of this ring, and it's constantly in movement. Your village is nomadic. It takes a lot of work and a lot of people to move the techno-organic strands that the buildings of today are suspended from. So imagine a sort of multi-layered ring like a funnel web spider would produce. At one end of the village of today is a great shield that fills up the entire circle like a membrane, and behind that is the light of tomorrow. And tomorrow is an unknown. It's the power of the gods, of the founders, and it has a crystal in the center of the shield that focuses out the only light that's allowed to escape from tomorrow, because without being properly filtered, the light of tomorrow is known to cause uncontrolled growth and change within sentient beings. This beam that's focused by the center of this shield that blocks, that shields today from tomorrow. It goes out in a beam.
Way to stay on brand.
This beam runs through the center of this cylindrical world, well, ring world, and that beam cycles through different colors. At some point in the cycle, the 24-hour cycle, for the first 8 hours of it, it's different tones of red. But then it moves to being different tones of green. And then it eventually moves to the end of that part of the cycle, which is where it's shades of blue. And the buildings and lights and stuff react in different colors.
The day is rainbow?
The day is rainbow.
Yes!
Yeah. So there's no sun, there's no moon. But
Peeking like, whoa.
It's true. I just heard a squeal from the sound guy in the next
No limiter can contain it.
But people govern where they live, what part of the cycle they are active in by these colors, right? So early cycle, or morning, the first 8 hours is red, and mid cycle is green, and then night is basically blue. So that beam it shoots through from the focusing crystal in the shield through the center, lighting up this funnel web, and then there's also a tower. Well, it's not really a tower; it's more like a sort of like a point suspended in space by in the center of this circular or cylindrical area. And it marks where the beam ends, where it terminates, and it also generates a field. That field is the boundary between the village of today and the wasteland that's known as yesterday. So this light of tomorrow is constantly in movement, and the people of the village of today are constantly moving everything, unattaching these strands of this web and moving it along to reattach it within this ring as it moves. Beyond that shield is something where the beam doesn't reach, is basically where you come from before. It's a wasteland known as yesterday. But in the absence of the light of the beam and the presence of the post-humans who live here, it's a mysterious and dangerous place. But people do go into it in order to reclaim relics. There's something about the properties of yesterday that not only, while it's filled with radioactive dust and dangerous guardians and life forms, it also, there's some properties that it has that seems to awaken artifacts or Numenera ciphers. So it's a source of those things. So that covers a lot of the basics of the layout of the world. One of the other things that you should know about this world is that the people, the multiple generations of humans who live here, the majority are of a culture that describe themselves as the Ariadne. And the Ariadne, we have two Ariadne characters playing in this world. The Ariadne are distinguished from a very small percentage of the humans in this world who are known as the Reborn. And the Reborn are immaculately conceived clones, basically. And there have been 256 documented ones, but some of them take many years between appearing. Our other 3 characters are members of this group, the Reborn. So you've got this culture which has evolved over generations, but then you also have these people who have been reintroduced with the same genetics each time, and they interact with that culture normally. They can interbreed. The Ariadne are children of children of children of people who were originally founders, but with each generation there are more Ariadne, whereas the number of founders has remained relatively constant. So the village of today and everything moves in this cycle around the ring, and that's referred to as the Great Cycle. I guess for us who are not in this world, it would be referred to as like a year, but a year is referred to as a great cycle. And you are coming up to, you are 7 cycles or days away from the cycle end, which is basically the end of this great cycle and the beginning of a new one. And this is marked by an event. There is one piece of architecture called the door, which is at this location on the ring. And so part of the ritual, this cycle end, not only is it when new reborn are conceived, it's also a time of great fertility and celebration for all of the people who inhabit the village of today. So that's 7 cycles away. We start our story in the school, and the school is an organization where the reborn and selected Ariadne are trained until their coming of age. And the coming of age usually happens after 16 great cycles for these folks. So there are some people in our group who are, it's coming up on their coming of age ceremony, this cycle end. And that's Naxos is one of them, right? And also Prolethea. And Argon is not quite at that age.
I'm also not. I haven't been in the school for very long.
Yeah, you're a more recent addition. So,
Nico, you're not even close.
I'm 10.
Yeah. So let's start with a scene. We're going to start with a scene with the Guardian, and the Guardian is a. Let's see. Maybe can you describe the Guardian's role?
It's a school full of technology and magic that we don't understand, and someone needs to shield them from themselves and from the things in yesterday that come for them. And that's why I was chosen, I guess.
Yeah.
Chosen.
And you haven't been the Guardian you've been the Guardian for less than a cycle.
Yeah, less than a great cycle.
Less than a great cycle, sorry. Because in one of the previous Guardian was lost in yesterday when she went in pursuit of a reborn child named Hannah, who for some reason went out into yesterday alone. We go together, but Hannah went alone. And the Guardian went with warriors to try to find her, and was not. You assume that she was killed or something because you inherited the Guardian's role and powers and became the new Guardian. So you're kind of like not the headmaster of the whole school, but you're in charge of sort of security. And also, guarding, people donate ciphers, which are these sort of transformed relics of technology from previous generations. So yeah, you're a sort of caretaker and a guardian. You're in your office, and you are preparing to receive a visit from a parent. And this parent is well known to you. his name is Baird Forrest. And Baird is reborn, but he is also he's known for being very active politically within society. But one of the things you know him for, and the reason why he's here, is he is actually the parent of both Prolethea and Nico, your students. Now, Nico and Prolethea are both reborn, but they're basically believed to be sort of clones, reincarnations of very specific founders. So they're not related genetically, but they were both born from the same cyber womb artifact that Baird used. So Baird arrives in your office, and he's wearing the sort of crisscrossed cloth that looks almost like a web itself. The same things that mimic in Ariadne architecture, where buildings are made from segments of woven tarps, and with everything is with beads and fabric. A lot of the language and all those sort of things they're very reliant on. It's almost like a sort of everything is crocheted or macrameed. So he's wearing these sort of he's well dressed and with these sort of flowing crisscrossed interlocked robes. His hair is long and silver, and it's worn off to the side in this very elaborate sort of braided. It's nice when a character looks kind of like me.
You're like, he's gorgeous. You can't look away from it.
Imagine he looks kind of like me. His hair is very elaborately braided, and there are beads and stuff in it. Again, there are these sort of patterns. This is all very. You know that he definitely he's adopted the majority Ariadne culture. A lot of what's taught to the reborn in the schools is a sort of primer based on what they assume the reborn would want to know. So there are elements in the school's architecture that have things like right angles and things made of stone. Like, what is this? But so Baird has come to visit you, and he comes in and he sits down in the sort of guest seat across from your desk.
Should I do a quick visual description of me?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, by contrast to long, flowing hair, the Guardian is bald, completely hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, nothing, but wearing very, very simple sleeveless robe, the Guardian's cloak, and a silver amulet.
Mm-hmm.
And over all of the visible parts of their body, through their neck and over their face, is silver web that integrated and burned into their skin, and that was the first sign that they had been chosen, that they had ascended to become the Guardian.
Okay.
And if you look too closely, you can see along those threads there are little ripples.
Okay. So Baird sits down across from you, and he extends his arms crossed in the usual way that people, shake hands, with this sort of interlocked double handshake.
We go together.
Yeah, we go together. Guardian, I'm grateful that you accepted my visit. I know there were times that the previous Guardian thought I was a little too involved, but when the futures of my children, of our children, are at stake, I can't feel guilty about that. But I wanted to come here because I know that the cycle end is coming, and I know it'll be important, especially for my son, Prolethea. And I wanted to bring you something, to give you something, to the school, but I trust you to use it as you see fit. And you can see he reaches down and pulls out a sort of slung bag, as a sort of big sort of purse, and he opens it up. It's this woven bag, and out of it he pulls, and you recognize immediately what it is. It's the caul. It's the womb that he used to conceive both Prolethea and Nico, and he puts it on the table and says, may the study of it or may it allow someone else to receive great gifts as I did. And he goes, and then you see he parts his robe slightly, and you can see there are ports on his body. And he says, sometimes they ache, and I can feel that I miss them. But I understand as I went to the school as well, that the teachings are there to protect them, and that you're there to protect them.
Your gift is generous. Thank you. Prolethea will probably be ready.
I know that he's very enthusiastic, and if he can apply what he's learned with all of his time playing, what was it called again?
Seeker's Bola.
Seeker's Bola. If he can apply what he's learned from all those games of Seeker's Bola, I'm sure that he'll be a great asset in whatever he decides to do. Whether that's becoming a seer like his forebear, or perhaps a great warrior.
If he can apply such things, then he will not be useless.
All right, so let's cut away. Basically, you know that he wants to go meet up with his kids who are towards the end of one of their classes. So we're gonna move our camera away to another part of the school for a moment, but we'll assume that you and Baird are en route basically to this classroom. But we'll start with a description of what's happening with some of the other some of our other cast. So this classroom, you're in mid-class right now, and the room itself is almost like a tower, but with no floors to separate it. Instead, there are these sort of almost sort of like balcony cocoon, kind of like opera boxes that are built alongside one edge of it, so it operates as an amphitheater. And in the center of it, down on a stage, which is made up of a plinth, which is alternating squares and triangles, both of which are kind of unusual shapes. You see plenty of triangles amongst the web architecture, but those are often very sort of sheared, or but this is like a perfect, like what's that called, like equilateral, an equilateral triangle.
So the other ones are more obtuse or acute triangles.
Yeah. Okay. So there's something about you can see that particular place where the instructor is giving her lecture, and that's her name is Prelate Omnia. Omnia is her name, but she's Prelate Omnia, and she's giving a very long-winded description. She is reborn as well. One of the ways you can tell about the difference between people who are reborn and the majority of the Ariadne is some of the skin colorations are a little different. Both the reborn have a full range of skin colors like we would expect in our world, as goes for the Ariadne, but I think the Ariadne have more of a kind of bluish tint in some cases. But I mean, there are people who have one reborn parent and one Ariadne parent, So yeah, you'll see a mix of folks. But Prelate Omnia, you can see that she is reborn as well. So she doesn't have the slightly larger eyes. There are other properties of the Ariadne. They tend to find it easier to integrate ciphers into their body. Their body doesn't reject them as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's droning on and on. It goes, safety is paramount. Yes, there's much to be discovered in yesterday, but safety is paramount, and the taboos that we have exist for a reason. Not merely to enforce the power and glory of the reborn and the founders, but also so that their lessers, the Ariadne, will be able to live in their reflected light. So you four are all in this sort of opera box, and you're different ages. And in the case of Argon, Argon is Ariadne, whereas the three of you are reborn. So
Sorry.
let's give some descriptions of what your characters look like, and we can talk a little bit about who they are and what their general goals are. But we'll start with Argon. What your last name is what?
Silk Sieve.
Argon Silk Sieve. Okay. So yeah, you are not really.
No, like, so everyone in the school has been in the school since they were young. Like,
if they're reborn, yeah.
If they're reborn, they've been in the school since they can attend the school and they don't leave the school. It's like a boarding house or boarding school. Argon was not that. Argon is Ariadne and lived with their family and worked with their family up until probably a 4 cycle ago, maybe, or it's been a little bit, but maybe
let's as long as it's less than, let's say, 90 cycles.
Yeah, it's been a short time.
3 months. Less than 3 months. You've been here.
But it's a bit of a controversy that they're there now. Most of Argon's, almost half or more of Argon's body is artificial. The whole left arm, they have intricate like cut work and like showing through electronics and technological aspects through their face. One of their eyes is obviously cybernetic, and as the pupil's actually like a goat pupil, like it's lateral.
Like an hourglass, or like a.
And the full left constructed side of their body and arms and legs. I have some artwork I'll put up in the Discord. Yeah. 'Cause I like drawing.
It's kind of like ceramic, sort of looking interlocking plates and sort of strange fiber optic looking sort of tubing.
And Argon is mostly asleep during this class.
Yeah. Now, Ariadne are let into the school, sometimes through leverage or for political reasons, sometimes because a great talent has been identified in some way. But they usually come here when they're much younger. And it's very unusual for one who's your age. You're probably about 15. It's unusual for one like you to be brought in here, especially since you'll be expected in a little over one great cycle to go through this to go through the ritual of cycle end. So yeah, you're definitely interested in getting more information about the sort of things they're teaching here, but you're also kind of innately suspicious. And your family are very kind of working class. A lot of what they do is kind of underground or secret, and it means they have experience going out into yesterday.
Yeah,
but
so
in an unsanctioned way.
Yeah, my family, the Silk Sieve name, they are collectors, and they go out into yesterday, into the direct yesterday, to find remnants of the web that we live on as it moves and the things that are left behind, and they collect this sort of cybernetic silk to create great pieces of clothing and things that are a little bit more robust than the normal creations that people wear. Yeah. So
the web of the village of today is a sort of, it's basically, some people believe it to be one massive organism. But they're the sort of silk that Argon is talking about his family collecting. Their family. I'm sorry. They have the stuff that it comes from only seems to awaken in yesterday. These leftover points and the residue of where these anchors were attached for these various strands that support the buildings and all that. All right. So yeah, and you've made some friends. I think the people in this box with you who you're sitting with are probably your closest friends right now. So yeah, let's move on and what's up with Prolethea. We've heard a little bit about from his father.
He's
Bear.
also trying to stay awake in this class. He wants to learn, but he's just, things don't hold well in his mind, which is confusing for him since everybody is like talking about the seer and how great they were and anything athletic.
There was a previous generation, the Prolethea of many generations ago, was basically called Prolethea the Great.
Yeah, and
he was a powerful seer.
Yeah, which is confusing since I am not.
You have other gifts.
Yes, knowledge is not one of them. But he wants to learn. That's something he wants. It just doesn't click well, and so he's like trying to like pay attention. He's very tan, very athletic. He has a very athletic build. He's very fit. He's wearing kind of loose kind of workout clothes underneath, which nobody can see, but you know, here in the mind of Prolethea, is he's wearing the Seeker's Vola's uniform underneath.
Okay.
This black kind of like spandex kind of uniform with red stripes going through it. And yeah, I think that's
Seeker's Bola is a game, a ritual game that is practiced by the people of today, and it's supposed to, or was originally started as, before it became a sort of community activity, was a training exercise. And it involves chasing a construct through a sort of labyrinth of webs, and it's a spectator sport where people cheer. For some people it has religious value. Yeah. And there's often a
ball is life.
Ball is life.
Ball is life.
There's a very big game that's going to be part of Cycle End. Which you are going to be able to participate in.
Pressure's on.
Pressure is on, but you're probably pretty excited about it. I didn't mention this earlier, but as far as the way that the Cipher system and Numenera work is that your character is made up of focus, descriptor, and type, right? And you have a character sentence, which is I'm an adjective noun who verbs. So an example would be. The Guardian is you're a mystical nano who controls force. Yeah. So that describes how you choose different combinations of these things, and that determines what your powers are and how you advance. Argon, you are
I'm a risk-taking delve that fuses flesh and steel.
Yeah.
Oh, for what you all know, the reason why Argon is here is that some time ago, within the last Great Cycle, something happened where Argon got too close to the light of tomorrow, and the actual shield. The only person that was actually present at that time was the Guardian, and something started happening to their body, and the technology started taking over.
Yeah.
And that is rumored to be why they are here in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Poisel, their character is a delve, and someone who specializes in going out into the wasteland, in delving, going out into the wasteland and finding these sources of power and energy.
Yeah,
and
I'm not good at understanding them, but
you can just bring
salvaging them, yeah.
Yeah. This belongs in a museum. Prolethea uses it as a clever glaive
who never says die.
Yeah. Glaives are kind of like warriors. Nanos are kind of like wizards. A wizard did it.
You're a wizard.
Yeah.
You're a wizard, Prolethea.
Yeah. So Prolethea, you're thinking about the big game. You're thinking about Cycle End in general.
Yeah. A little bit nervous. I have been having these dreams of yesterday that I don't really understand quite well. That's been kind of making me lose sleep.
In this dream, you feel like there's someone like calling to you, you know, from within yesterday.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
Yeah,
it's really affecting my studies. I tell you what,
it's putting you off your game.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time understanding most schoolwork, and this is just making it so much more difficult. And the big game's coming up. I'm stressed.
You got to train.
Yeah,
last minute training
books.
All right, so let's move on to our next character, who is Naxos Stemwinder.
Yes.
Naxos is a reborn as well. Tell me some stuff about Naxos.
I'm Naxos. I'm a charming Arcus that speaks with a silver tongue. I have brown skin, long fire red hair with blue streaks in it, and I have beads that of letters that I assemble to make different words.
Oh, cool.
So like like different things are in my hair all the time. I'm wearing all these elaborate scavenged like scarves and bits of robe and like brightly colored fabric that is way more about being colorful than functional.
A lot of them have been given to you because your previous Naxos stemwinders, and they have been numerous, but they have always been fabulous. and some of them have grown up to be very popular entertainers. So sometimes there are fans of previous generations of Naxos who give you these gifts.
And I love them all. And I do have an elaborate pointy hat with a long blue feather of some unknown creature that is the Naxos hat. That like every Naxos has it. So I have that in my possession.
Okay. The feather is something that you saw depicted in some old sort of text or image. There are no creatures with feathers in this world. It's basically what you think a feather should be.
Right.
But it's made out of cloth and a sort of stiff central strand. You've made a feather.
I inherited it.
Oh yeah, you inherited it from a previous Naxos?
Yes.
And the hat is kind of part of Naxos. You're trying to live up to this role of being the Naxos.
I am living up to the role of being the Naxos.
Great.
Yes, and I've made a lot of money betting on your games, by the way. So
you're welcome.
I'm all for it here. And I am spending this day looking out over the amphitheater, watching the other students, because I'm actually trying to figure out, like, who's like secretly likes each other and who like is made. Like I'm looking to see like if anybody's like stealing glances with each other. I really kind of couldn't care less what Prelanomnia is saying, and I'm deeply concerned that we're all bad students. But
I'm trying.
I
try to be a good student.
Hey, I just go with the flow, man. Like I don't need like angles in math.
Doesn't even matter.
It really doesn't.
You're a little shaken. You had a dream last night as well, and you can't remember the contents of it, but you keep thinking about Hana and how you worry. You're trying to remember, was anybody else there when I said this thing to Hana? Because you were kind of mean girls and kind of cruel to her.
Sounds accurate.
I guess. I mean, if your skin is so thin that I can just point out the truth and you go running off into an apocalyptic hellscape, is that really my fault? I don't know.
There was something about Hana that always made you, like her very presence.
I agree.
Almost
seems a little insensitive.
you seem you don't understand why you didn't like her. There was something about her that was just irritated you, like her introvertedness, and she just
I'm so shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the corner drawing pictures with an ink pen. Ooh, I'm so deep.
We're all friends, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regrettably.
Yeah.
First of all, I am amazing. Thank you very much. Yes. And
I feel like you should be wearing this shirt.
yes. Yeah, and I just do have I do want to ask just Argon one thing. So like when you're growing, if you can't get new pieces, is like your one arm and one leg gonna stay like teenage size? So when you're full grown, you're gonna have like kind of walk like this? Is that gonna happen?
I don't know.
Because that would be awesome.
It happened like not long ago.
I think it's rad. I'm just saying. I'm interested. Just let me know. I'm interested. That's it for me.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
In general, you've heard that many of the reborn are unaware of social graces and how it's kind of that's a kind of weird thing to ask somebody.
You can't just ask if their cybernetics grow. I'm officially mean girls.
I have answers for some of these things, but I'm going to leave them out there for people to work on. So let's move on to our the last member of our group,
Hi.
Sierra Baldo.
My name is Nico. I don't use that name. I am a strong-willed glaive who acts without consequence. I really hate that everybody keeps referring to me as Sierra Baldo. That's not who I am. I don't know who she was, but that's not me.
Sierra Baldo was a well-liked constable who was a member of the community and known for their patience. Yeah, those sort of things.
She sounds really lame. So Nico is young. She's about 10. She has like really dark, very straight hair that she has pulled back, but it looks like she's got some like braids and things that it looks similar to what her father had, but it looks very much like it's sort of like self-done.
Yeah.
You know, like she's trying to make it look nice and it doesn't, so she also just pulls it all up into like a tight sort of, ponytail altogether. And some of them are okay and some of them are terrible. And that's cool. She doesn't really care, and she's got like one loose one that just sort of hangs. She's got kind of like a loose-fitting, almost like a jacket that also looks very similar to what her father was wearing, but it looks like something that's been initially very taken in and then taken out a lot.
Yeah.
Almost like a very well-loved piece that, not that she needs to wear hand-me-downs, but she does. It's like, it's basically her dad's old jacket.
Yeah. Like you're happy because you've had a growth spurt. Yeah. And last year you had to wrap this particular piece around yourself 4 times, and now it's just 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. So
you're moving up in the world.
Yeah, and beyond that, she's not wearing anything of note except she does have an old pair of Seeker Boldo. Is that the
Bola?
Seeker's Bola.
Seeker Bola shoes, basically, that were clearly her brother's.
Okay.
Yeah.
An old pair of Prolethia's cleats.
And she's just sitting in the back, like sort of trying to imitate like whatever posture he's doing. Yeah. She's like.
I mean, you kind of see Prolethia, who you're quite close, aren't you? And the rest of these folks are significantly older than you, but you kind of feel like you can hang out with them and you're on their level. You've wormed your way into this sort of circle, which is good because you often get serious FOMO and you want to be like one of the big kids.
Yeah.
So.
And then where she's sitting, is there like, because we're in this the like, you said like opera boxes?
Yeah, kind of like an opera box or like a balcony that's on the side of this room.
Is there something that could have been carved into?
Yeah.
So she's for sure carved Nico into like the side of one. Just like that.
All right.
That's where she sits. No idea who did that.
No, who would do that?
Anybody.
Graffiti.
You were with me when that happened.
Like, would I self-incriminate myself? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right. Well, you write your name.
Yeah. I'm not dumb.
It doesn't add up. Yeah.
It doesn't add up.
100%.
I would never go back to the scene of the crime.
Do you mean she might act without consequence?
That doesn't sound like Nico.
I love it.
I just assumed somebody else did this, and that's where I'm supposed to sit.
You're very popular. I can see anybody would have thought like Nico was here.
Anyone would have done it.
Makes sense. 100%.
So before we continue on with this scene, where we're going to get to where the Guardian and Baird arrive at the classroom, I want to talk briefly about how XP works in this game because it's real cool.
I'm all about any form of instruction.
Unlike Nico.
Obstinate child.
Ash is very interested in learning.
Okay. So the way XP works in this game is you will get XP in the form of these points, these little cards, these XP cards. You get them at the end at certain milestones. Like I'll probably award one once you get to the end of a session, and it's usually based on what discoveries you make. I'll say like, oh, you guys did this and you discovered this, so here's 1 XP for everybody. But another way that I give out XP is called a GM intrusion. See, Sam knows about this. They are the best. GM intrusion, basically there's while there's an ongoing situation, it could even be something where you don't normally have to roll for it, you would just succeed at this task. I can make you roll for it, or I can put something in, I can complicate some things in some way. But and so I say to you, I'm gonna do this and this and this. Do you accept? And if you accept, you have to bear the consequences of whatever that intrusion is. However, it makes something more difficult or adds, another variable into the situation. But I give you what's
I'm
up?
like, stop right there. I'm in.
All right. How can I mess with these kids? So then I give the person who I'm giving the intrusion, who's accepted the intrusion, I give them 2 XP, and they keep 1 XP for themselves, and they give it the other one to another player. And you can be like, oh, this person told a funny joke, or I want to make sure that, or that I was really touched by what you said in this situation.
I love B-Dave's hair today.
Yeah. It can be in-game stuff, out-of-game stuff. You can play tactically with it if you want. You can say, oh, so-and-so's not getting as many of these points. I want to make sure that they stay caught up. There are lots of things you can do. It's you have the power to give away that other XP. Now, you can also refuse an intrusion. You can just be like, this is a bad time. However, you have to spend an XP you have in order to do that, in order to refuse an intrusion.
Who would do that?
Yeah.
Now,
these XP that you have, you can use them to buy to purchase new skills. Basically, as you advance through your tier, you have 5 different categories of things you can do. You can like get trained in a skill. You can there are other things you can spend them on. And once you've bought 4 of them, then you move up to another tier, and you get even more powers. Even from your focus and descriptor and whatnot. Mostly from your type, I think, is when you. That's the main thing by tiers, right?
Also focus.
Also focus.
Was that every 4 points spent, or every 4
4
abilities
points per
purchased?
advance, 4 advances per tier. So 16 XP per tier.
And you can't buy. You can only buy each advance once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So an advance
per tier.
Per tier.
Yeah, to go up to get a new skill or something, it's 4 XP.
And we'll talk about that when we get to that point.
And if we use those XP for player intrusions, that is still gone.
Yes, that's what we get into right now.
I read the book. I haven't played the game, but I read.
Yeah. And we can use an XP to reroll.
You can use XPs for rerolls. Mm-hmm. You can get a reroll out of it. And it doesn't have to be your roll. Yeah. If you see someone else fuck up and you're like, oh, I don't want to have that happen, you can spend one of your XP to save them, and we'll.
Do you have
to
be there in game, or you can?
Nope.
It's player.
It's player.
There's one time when you intrude and we don't get XP though.
Yeah, that's when you roll a 1 on something. Then you get all the negatives of an intrusion, but you don't get XP.
That is
It's fun.
That's actually what one of my special abilities is risk taker. Is once per rest. I can automatically succeed on anything difficulty 6 or less. Yeah. But I also get an intrusion as if I had rolled a 1.
As if you had rolled a 1. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I anticipate it. So you can spend. So it's nice to bank some XP for leveling up skills, but you are also encouraged to spend them in game.
And so, but we get 1 per session, or 1 if you're messing with us.
Well, no, you're going to get 1 per session automatically, probably. Right. And then I'm going to other ones you get from intrusions that you accept,
right?
Or other people giving them to you from their intrusions.
Or making more discoveries, or particular RP dopeness that he wants to reward.
Well, I guess I'm just already trying to figure in my head to what extent is it better to save them for mechanical stuff, and to what extent is it to be like intrude.
I would try to save about half.
I hope that's how
that is what is recommended.
Literally, that'll be my pium is how I'm going to intrude.
And honestly, I don't have tons of experience. I've actually never played Numenera. I've run it a couple of times. I ran it. I ran some games and demos for Monty Cook Games this last Gen Con in August. But I forgot to thank them. We should thank all of them.
Hey, thank you, Monty Cook Games. Yeah.
Monty Cook Games, yeah. Monty Cook, Sean Reynolds, Bruce Cordell, Darcy. All of you have been very, very inspirational for all of us, and we're really enjoying your products.
Yes. It's great stuff.
Yeah. Have I covered everything I want to cover about XP? I think so. Player intrusions. Yeah. So some of you have suggested intrusions based on how your characters are made that you can preemptively say, I want to do this crazy thing. I mean, you can do crazy. You can try crazy things without a player intrusion, but there are suggestions. Like you have one called Perfect Setup that you really like, right?
So I really want to use it.
You're itching to try that one out.
There's 3 people set up perfectly.
Yeah,
I can go in and kill them all in 1 hit.
Yeah.
which is pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
Especially with that double-bladed glaive.
Yeah. I'm going to have to just constantly throw 3 people at you until it happens.
Yes.
All right, so we learned a little bit. So the XP is one thing that you're going to be getting in the game. Another thing is you have ciphers, which are, I mean, this is the core of the system. The ciphers are these relics from previous worlds. And so how they work here is going to be a little bit different than in the normal 9th world Numenera setting.
Numenera?
Where they
normal era, but yeah,
Normal era.
Yeah. So in that case, you're discovering these remnants from these other civilizations from the previous billion years that have passed. So it's a little different here, but there are ciphers in this pocket of the world, and you do start with a few of them, and we'll have to hand some of those out.
So excited to get my ciphers.
Yeah. So let's jump back into the scene in the classroom. You see the Guardian enter, along with immediately the 2 of you see your father, Baird. Now, the class is you can see that Prelate Omnia looks irritated that her class has been cut short, and you can see she's trying to she's trying to finish all of her speech or whatever, but the other students, there are probably about 20 students total in the room, which is a fairly typical class size of multiple ages. It's one of like old schoolhouse, everybody's in the same classroom kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You may have your own individual workbooks and itineraries. Or sorry, God, what's the thing that's like woven? It's kind of like it's like an abacus, but it's got different, and it's flexible, but it's got different beads and stuff on it. So your own. We'll just call it workbooks. I can't think of something cool and mysterious to call them.
Not workbooks.
Not workbooks. Fancy. Numa books. Right. All right. So yeah, but the other students are excited to see the Guardian here. And they're like, oh, the Guardian's here. Something must be up. You know.
Do I happen to know if you guys like or don't like your dad?
Oh, I like.
You like your dad?
We love our dad.
Love your dad? Okay, cool. All right.
We don't always have to have problems, all right?
So I'm clarifying.
We can have a normal family life.
We just want to know where those problems are.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But we don't see him much, right? Like
he tends to come by
more than most of the parents.
But still, as far as like.
He loves us.
Compared to like how often a normal 10-year-old sees their parents, yeah. But like boarding school parent.
You're a regular family with a dad.
With a dad.
So
in reincarnations.
Hey, we're brother and sister, right? And I don't care what you say.
Yes.
I'd like to notice something off in the weave of the ward of the room.
Okay.
And walk down the aisles.
Mm-hmm.
Past Nico's little box.
Well, those are up on the wall.
So I can climb the webs.
You could climb up one of the sort of ladder web things to get to where you're seeing this oddity.
Use a little hedge magic to fix the ward and clear off the carving that disrupted the weave.
But you don't say anything about what it is or anything. You just take care of it.
I just climb past, brush it. Nico sees it go away, and I keep climbing. Yeah. Grab something I didn't need at the top of the classroom and go back on.
The other students are watching you very intently, and they're like, "Oh wow, the Guardian." Yeah. So Baird makes his way over to the base of the area where and he kind of motions down to you two to descend. He sort of smiles.
Quickly.
I go down too. When he just motions to come down. All right. I was so good at him. I'm like, Mr. Forrest, hello.
Argan, your parents have not made any attempt to visit you, but they also told you it wasn't. I don't know how affectionate or close you are with them, but they were worried. They don't want to cause trouble for you. You know. That's what they said. But it's still in some way you do feel a little bitter that you're not getting a visit, whereas these two are. So you make it down to the bottom of the...
I jump down.
Okay.
I'm trained in climbing.
Yeah. When you land, Bear goes, oh, Nico, this is great. How are you? And he motions for you to come sit on his lap or whatever. Okay. And he's checking your hair and stuff and helping fix your hair for you while you.
Does it look okay?
It's great, honey.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I tried the twisty thing you did. I don't think I did. Oh, I mean.
You did great, honey. It looks just like Kuthar's.
I kept telling her that, and she won't listen to me.
Kuthar is Baird's husband. So he's your other dad.
Two dads are always better than one.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
my two dads. So yeah, Kuthar is not affectionate as in the way that Baird is, but you can tell
he's cool.
He's real cool. Yeah, he's actually
needed in a dad.
He's a member of the Sentinels, which is a group of warriors that help defend today from community threats. They're kind of like cops / guards. But yeah. Your other dad,
inspiration from him.
You definitely take some of both of you. I think you like him a lot as well.
Is he reborn as well?
No, he's Ariadne. Yeah.
Still love him.
Still cool.
Yeah. There isn't any sort of like, apart from weird outliers like Prelat Omnia. In general, there's not a lot of like sort of racism, and the Ariadne are an overwhelming majority. And they're not seen as being inferior. In fact, I think a lot of them would argue that they are not only the way of the future, as that they represent actual evolved, beings. So
That sounds a little racist.
What's up?
That sounds a little racist.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think
Like, wait a minute.
there
It's like, we're not
I matter too.
in this caste system, there are people who are at extremes of opinion. But in general, there are a lot of people who just don't really care. They're just kind of like, well, just people are different.
Yeah.
And it's also this whole thing of these clones being reborn. It's something that's been there since the beginning.
Clone.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I won't use that word.
I'm a person.
We don't use the C word.
Yeah, I'm a real boy.
Sam said something in our session 0. It's kind of like they're sort of like Cylon models.
Yeah.
There's only 256 though. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's great because it's a power.
Well, I want to. One thing I forgot to mention earlier. One of the things that bugged you about Hana, this reborn who went out into yesterday, was that she, as mousy and diminutive as she was a type of whatchamacallit. It was 255 had been seen recently until she was born.
So this was her first reoccurrence, or her first reoccurrence in a very long time?
First reoccurrence. She's the only Hana that has ever been known.
How did we know that she was a reoccurrence then? Were there records
Yeah,
of
there
everyone
are
that used to exist?
There are records. Fragmented. In
Right.
some cases, there have been instances where those records have been altered.
Right.
But
So she was an anomaly.
well, yeah, she's one who had never been seen before. So like, why you hated that specialness that she had? She didn't seem like she had anything to be worthy of it.
Yeah, it's true.
So
I mean,
yeah,
what
forgot to mention that earlier. But
What
that is
kind of
important.
people are just born and show up special? Wait.
So Prolethea, you make your way down and you see Baird with Nico sitting on his knee, and they're doing hair stuff and chatting.
Nice hair.
Yeah.
Why are you visiting us, Father?
Well, because I love you.
Yes, but you always bring some kind of news. I'm a bit standoffish.
Don't worry, there's nothing bad. I just wanted to make sure that we got a chance to talk because I have a lot of preparation to do for Cycle End, and I know you do as well.
Yeah.
You need to stay out of his hair, okay? Your time will come.
It's fine. She's fine.
I'm helping him practice for the big game.
Okay.
She is.
Okay.
Quite good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. So keep it up then, sweetie.
Okay.
Does it look like class is going to continue?
No.
Can I try to sneak out of here?
You want to try to sneak out of here back to your quarters?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have inability at sneaking.
All right. So let's have. Yeah. So, actually, one thing I forgot to do I'm going to give you guys all a base XP of 1 just to start the game with. 1, 2.
Yay.
Not our first rodeo.
I woke up like this.
So that if you want to have the options for player intrusions or
refusing one.
yeah,
or
refusing
having one
one.
reroll.
Can you distribute
or
these?
another short
Long
enough.
arms. Go gadget arms.
Can I try to notice them trying to sneak out?
Well, they're up in a balcony box,
instantly
right?
spend-
I'm going to say in this instance that you are so focused on this that I don't know. I mean,
Well, it's because I want to introduce my dad to everyone.
oh, okay. All right.
Well, I came down.
Well, let's see how bad they do
Yeah, right.
at their sneaking, and they'll determine if I think you have a chance.
I'm doing. I really want to make this roll because I really want to fail. like.
Okay.
So what is the what's the base difficulty?
So the base difficulty for this would be
Sneaking out of a room where everyone can see the door.
yeah, but there's also something else going on right now. There's a lot of hullabaloo from your presence and Baird, and the fact that I think a lot of these kids, they want to get out of there or talk amongst themselves. So I'm actually going to say this is only a difficulty 2 normally.
So it makes
Up
it
to
3
for you.
So
A 3 for you.
Roll a 9 or better.
You need to roll a 9 or better. Yeah.
All right, first roll of the game.
First roll of the game.
Not 20.
Okay. Let's talk about special results real briefly. If you roll a 17, 18, 19, or 20, it can have effects. In combat, if you roll a 17, you get an extra point of damage. You roll an 18, you get an extra 2 points of damage. 19 is an extra 3 points, and 20 is an extra 4 points. You can, when it comes to other tasks, if you roll a 19 or 20, you get a 19 gives you a minor effect, and 20 gives you a major effect. Major effects can be things like knocking somebody prone, or disarming them. And minor effects are kind of a step below that. But we'll kind of negotiate. When you get a roll like that, you can be like, "Can I do this?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's good for a minor effect or a major effect." And they have suggestions of them for them in the books too, as possible ones. So nat 20 on this check. Yeah, it's
Yeah, go on.
Is there any particular major effect that you want? I mean, first of all, you exceeded your own expectations.
Oh yeah,
how sneaky you
Your
are.
dice flouted you.
Yeah, my I wanted to fail, and my dice were like, no, you're gonna succeed with style.
Yeah.
But no one saw the style.
No one saw it. Yeah, no one saw it. I don't know. I think maybe my body adapts in some way that I was not expecting.
Okay.
And yeah, so my character is essentially cyborg in a way. So I have no clue what happens, but something happens.
All right.
I'll leave it up to your hands. I trust you.
You
You get the shocks upgrade.
one of your. I was gonna say.
Roller skate pops out like Inspector Gadget. It's like.
Yeah.
Wait, that comes later.
So yeah, there's the bottom of your foot. Somehow, basically, there was the ball of your foot. It literally has like a ball, kind of like a roll-on deodorant kind of thing, or like a ballpoint pen. It literally has like a ball bearing in it, a rather large one. In fact, but from the shape curvature of it, it seems like it would be too big to fit inside your foot. But yeah, there's this sort of domed surface, and you take a step onto it, and it activates, and you glide like a skater, right? And it's completely silent.
Ooh.
And you roll down the slight incline that leaves the room and onto this pathway from one part of the school to another. Some of the buildings are done in this reborn revivalist architecture, but they are connected by basically kind of like rope bridges of this gray steel-like web.
Awesome. Thank you, Dice Envy.
Oh, yeah. So, are you heading back to like your quarters? Or somewhere else in the school?
I didn't think that far. I will. I guess in this hubbub of everyone, like this thing. I found some part of the school that is just kind of private, and I'm gonna go there.
Or you go smoke under the stairs out back or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
The places.
Yeah.
I keep ruining the mood and tone by bringing in all these real world analogies, but I'm sorry. This is how I have fun. So
I'm sure something horrible happens.
I stashed a project I'm working on with some of my tools, like trying to play around with maybe a cipher that I have.
All right, so let's do that because we're gonna be at a handout ciphers point. I'll hand out ciphers as your starting ciphers, or your choice of them. Let's start with. You're normally supposed to start with how many ciphers?
2 ciphers.
So I'm going to say
one
that
oddity.
2 ciphers and 1 oddity. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll kind of randomize, but if I think it doesn't work quite right, then or if it's something that isn't super suited to you, I'll pick something else. But so yeah, I'm gonna use this cipher deck. This is not a nice one. It's just one I printed from the PDF, but it's all right. And the Cipher deck has 2 parts, one of which shows what the type of Cipher is. Here's some things that look like pills. Here's one that looks kind of like an injector. These things can take, that's the form that it takes. And then I'll pick another card.
Form of a Cipher.
Form of a Cipher. So here, I don't need that.
For the record, while you're doing this, I'm going to approach the Guardian and speak with them. I mean, I'll wait for this, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So that's what we'll do is we'll handle their scene, and then we'll move on to your scene, and then we'll finish up with Baird's scene. And let's see if I can get all of you to have ciphers by the end of this. Game challenge activate.
Fast.
You just rob some people.
Yeah.
No.
Weird.
Well, I'm like, what if they willingly give it to me? Like,
It's not robbery.
That's not
Robbery.
well, I mean, I'm gonna rob people, but then they're gonna say it was willing, and that's gonna be how I get away with it.
Crime better.
Maybe I'm so good at it you haven't even noticed.
Alright.
It's a battle of the wits.
I think I already shuffled these, but
That
I'm
was
going to
fine.
give them a little more. All right. So, normally I would let you pick from this deck, but I think it's kind of difficult in this, so let's pull
That's
over
fine.
the first one. I'm going to give you one which form is weird,
Okay.
and we'll decide what that is once I see what it is. And the other one would be a worn device, but in this case I'm going to say it's something that you've managed to...
Implant it myself.
Yeah. Or maybe it's something that was like, it was generated as part of your body,
Okay.
and it fell out at some point.
And I've been trying to figure out how it goes back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of know, but you also feel like it might activate if you put it back in, so you're not sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate you were assembled like a piece of IKEA furniture, and there's like parts left over. We're like, wait a second, that seems important.
This
Yep.
is awesome. Okay, so through your research, you have figured out what these things do.
Okay.
The Warn device... Actually, no, I'll say the Warn device is something that was as part of your techno-organic forearm. And basically what it is this is a monoblade. I have to roll to see what level the Cipher is as well. Oh, wow. This is a level...
Blade, but that would require negotiation.
Yeah.
This is this is a level 6 Cipher, so it's quite powerful. Yeah, 1d6 plus 2.
Your rocket arm.
And now, remember, ciphers are one-use items. Unless there are some people who have unusual ways they can recharge ciphers. But there are other Numenera that are not ciphers that are called artifacts, and those can be used multiple times, and you use a thing where you roll depletion. But anyway, this monoblade produces a 6-inch blade that's the same level as the Cipher, so it's a level 6 blade. The blade cuts through any material of a level lower than its own.
Ooh.
If used as a weapon, it is a light weapon that ignores armor of a level lower than its own.
Ooh.
And the blade lasts for, you're guessing, about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You have a single-use lightsaber.
Single-use shiv.
But it's like an Assassin's Creed one,
Yeah.
where a blade of hard light would emit from your wrist, or I guess it could be the back of your wrist, or wherever you want to have it, or maybe how about on the bottom like a bayonet?
Oh yeah.
You know. So yeah, and that's one I like for you.
Ooh.
That's one of the ones that you've been tinkering with. Okay. All right. The other one is a level 3 Cipher. This one is it's a collection of beads that are in a string of different colors. Some of them glow, and you can see the beads are in the same color as different times of day. There's some red beads, some blue ones, some green ones. Well, maybe kind of like one of these.
What?
These bracelets. All
I
right.
appreciate.
so-
She's the only one that doesn't have it. Ash gave us all these.
Yeah, and we love them.
Yeah.
I forgot mine at home.
I forget mine sometimes
Yeah,
too.
me too.
So
Yeah.
it's all good. We know what's in your heart.
It's true.
So this allows the user to project a one-time, one-way telepathic message of up to 10 words with an unlimited range to anyone you know.
What?
I wonder how that could come in plot relevant.
to a delve that does things without thinking about it very perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Okay, so we'll just say for now that you're in your cool, safe hangout spot, and you're tinkering with your ciphers. Another thing about these ciphers is depending on what type of character you are, you can only have a certain number of them on your person at a time because they react to each other.
All of us are 2.
Yeah.
Because I sacked 1.
Oh, because you sacrificed 1. Yeah. Normally nanos can bear 3. You can increase that as you level, and if you get other ones, you can always stash one somewhere. But if you try to keep more than you can bear together, I get to roll on a table, and sometimes good stuff happens, but mostly bad stuff happens.
All right.
All right, so let's do the. Actually, let's give you your choice of ciphers because the Guardian actually has access to 5 functional ones. Oh, but by the way, the call that external womb, that is an artifact that you have access to now as well.
Cool.
You can literally make babies.
Or give it to somebody else who wants to.
Or clone.
Baron was clear about that. He didn't have any expectation to be like, you need to go be a dad or a mom or parent like me, you know.
Like, hey, so what's up?
That came without expectations, guy. Guess what?
That would be an excellent come on. Like, hey, baby.
You have enough kids to take care of already.
Tell me the fuck about it.
Let's pick some cool ones for you.
Didn't say you weren't.
To pick from.
Just say gotta take care of you.
All right. So, first option. Oh fuck yeah! This one is a corrosive gas bomb.
Whoa.
It is a level 8. This stuff, a lot of the stuff has been donated to the school by people who are very pious in this religion of the founders and the reborn.
It's
so
considered auspicious.
Yeah, to bequeath
an auspicious chemical bomb. It's the holy hand grenade.
So this can be thrown a short range, or if it has capabilities projected up to a long range, like if you threw it out like a sling or something. It bursts in a cloud within an immediate distance. The cloud lingers for 1d6 rounds unless conditions dictate otherwise. Everything in the cloud suffers damage equal to the cipher's level.
Oh, they fracked.
This is a corrosive gas bomb.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's quite dangerous. All right,
great.
So
there, 1 down, 4 to go.
Yeah.
Is this the type of thing where they need to be wary of, like, if they fall off a cliff, it can shatter? Like, is it that kind of thing? Or are these things like relatively inert until you're like, do the thing, magic device, shablamo?
Whether or not other folks might, I do have bubbles of force that I use.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling sanguine about it.
I mean, that could be an intrusion that potentially one of your ciphers breaks.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean...
Give the GM ideas.
Yeah.
Give the GM ideas.
Give me good ideas and bad ideas. Okay. This one is a cool one. This one is on that one, the corrosive gas bomb, I'm going to say it's like a metal tube.
Yeah.
That's maybe slightly curved. It looks like basically what a segment of the ring would be. Yep. You know, like a small, slightly curved, it's a little metal banana. All right, so this next one is, let me roll for that. All right, this is a level 4 cipher, and it's a mental scrambler.
Oh, that's.
I'm going to say this one is an injection. It's like a disc that you slap onto your
slap
neck.
patch kind of thing.
Yeah, slap patch kind of thing. And
nicotine.
It's a mental scrambler. 2 rounds after being activated, the device creates an invisible field that fills an area within short range and lasts for 1 minute. The field scrambles the mental processes of all thinking creatures, making it so they move slowly, immediate range, and clumsily. The effect lasts as long as they remain in the field and for 1d6 rounds after, although an intellect defense roll is allowed each round to act normally, both in the field and leaving it. So they can basically save to kind of end it. So that's the second one.
Save to end it per round.
Per round, yeah.
Got it.
So
dope.
You're writing down what level these are, right?
I was hoping I'd get the cards.
Well, yeah, but the level that says 1d6 plus this whatever. So we'll just remember that the bomb was 8.
Yep.
Insane. It's as high as it can be. And the mental scrambler is 4.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you all 5 cards, and then you can just pick. You can tell me which 2 you have on your person right now.
I'm not getting anywhere.
Oh, this is so cool.
I know better.
All right. So there are goggles that are often goggles and masks that are often part of filter skin or other gear to go out into yesterday. This one is a pair of goggles kind of like that. They're very large. They almost extend slightly around the side of the head, kind of like big wraparound. Like, have you ever seen the skydiver? Yeah, go on through. Have you ever seen the
kid is so
that skydivers wear, where it looks almost like a bubble, like a clear bubble over the eyes? It's kind of like that, but with some more stuff around the edges. And this is a temporal viewer that displays moving images and sound, up to 10 minutes in length, depicting events that occurred at the current location up to 1 year prior.
Ooh.
Or one great cycle prior.
I'm sure that has no plot relevance. Cool.
I'm actually picking these at random.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
it's serendipitous.
You will find a good way to use this stuff.
But that apparently we could solve a murder in about 10 minutes now. We'd be like, and it was that guy.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a good guardian, maybe. Who knows?
Okay. So I got to roll for level for this.
Yeah.
This is and it says the user specifies the time period shown by the viewer. So,
right.
You can tell it how many cycles.
Okay.
And probably somebody with your disposition probably has a very clear, organized idea of. Do you have a good memory?
No.
No.
The things I need to know come to mind sometimes.
Because you're mystical. I forgot about that. Okay. This one is, I don't think the level really affects this one, but this one is level 7. It's 1d6 plus 4 temporal viewer.
I think if there were a situation where someone could, like, try to resist or, like, set up a field, it would be versus the level of that Cipher.
Yeah. Everything in this game, in this system has a level. NPCs,
you'll have to get on mine, is what we're saying. All right, what else do I have?
All right, next
more
up.
ties.
Okay. And remember, you can also trade these around with each other. So, if you
are not getting that corrosive gas bomb. You look away right now.
This one is a level 6, although it doesn't really affect it here. It's a strength boost. This one is literally a pill. You know, but it looks like a small compacted cake, almost like a digestive biscuit or something. Yeah, but this is a strength boost. It adds 1 to your might edge for an hour.
That's real frickin' good for our glaives, though.
Edge is when you have something which lets you get a discount whenever you spend points to activate a power that uses a pool.
Or for using effort to reduce the difficulty of a task, which is super important.
Yeah. All right, so that's the 4th one. That's
Oh. So if I have a 1 intellect, yeah, right, got it. I read
it means all of the 1
connect
intellect point powers you have. If you have a 1 intellect edge, it just goes through for free. That's real nice.
I'm gonna be doing a lot more stuff. Yeah.
This last one is anti-venom. This one is actually a cream that you spread on your neck and shoulders, and it's supposed to absorb into your system. And it's a level 7 anti-venom, and it basically renders the user immune to poisons at the same level or lower, and ends any such ongoing effects if already in the user's system.
Excellent.
It was the risk-taking and X without console, those things.
Yeah.
All right. That's 5.
So let me give you those 5, and you can pick which 3 you want to leave in your office. Can you hand this over to Sam for me?
All right. So I have the gas bomb locked completely solidly away.
Okay.
In my office, along with the strength boost and the mental scrambler. When I got some of these, I put the antivenom patch up, and the silver webbing on my skin sort of glowed and absorbed it, and at some point I can rematerialize it.
Okay.
And the same with the goggles.
Excellent. Very cool.
It looks really.
Ciphers for me are one of the funnest parts of this game because it's basically like an ability, and even if it's something super powerful like that gas bomb, like you're encouraged to use it, because you can't get
It's a consumable.
you can't. It's a consumable, but it's like an ability. And even if it's something super powerful, I don't really need to worry about it disrupting the game. So I can give you opportunities to do really, really cool, epic stuff, but I'm not going to break it forever. Be like, now this person has this crazy, weapon or
Yeah. It does 8 points of damage once. I have a friend who can punch for like 11 points of damage. But that's neither here nor there.
Is that
I have no idea what you're talking about.
okay?
I think that's somewhere in the 6th world.
In the 6th world, not the 9th.
Follow us on Discord to find out which.
That's just a completely different.
Yeah. People in the chat, by the way, I'm sorry I haven't said hi up until now. I've had some issues with loading the Twitch on here, but I do love you, and I do go back and watch the VODs of this, so I will read your words. We love you very much. Thank you for taking time to watch this stuff. Oh, I see Jordan. Hi, Jordan.
Hello.
Jordan makes these shirts, and they're very cool.
Yes.
So,
Void merch.
yeah, Void merch.
merch.
Hottest singles on Twitter.
Void and prohibited.
Yeah, Void and prohibited.
Void and encouraged.
It's more fun if it's forbidden.
All right, so we've got you two
Yes.
taken care of as far as ciphers for now. Let's
Right, and that was a pretext to the scene with
Scene.
Dave, yeah?
yeah, let's do the scene where
Be it in the Guardian.
in the garden.
Yes, apparently you want to talk to me, which is a choice that people have made.
So are you engaged in calibrations and field testing?
Well, now that I've fixed that one weave of the ward, I am sort of sensing whether there are
For
any
now.
other irregularities.
There's one walking up right behind you.
I don't turn around, I just say, hello, Naxos.
I would like to activate my powerful rhetoric ability.
Okay. You say that out loud, and
I'm like, I would like to activate my powerful rhetoric. I'm like, Guardian, hello. You're looking especially powerful today. What is it that you're working on?
Wards.
Aren't we all wards? I don't.
The word has 2 meanings.
It just seemed like you were doing something important. Is there anything I can do to help? Because I know you're new, and we really appreciate you. I personally appreciate you and everything that you do here.
It's excellent for you.
Yes, it's excellent for all of us. Really, the last Guardian abandoned us. We don't even know where she went. That was weird. Do you know anything about that by chance?
Yes.
Can I know anything about that by chance?
Yes.
Do I know anything about that by chance?
Perhaps.
I like the cut of your jib, Guardian. I do. Is there, class is over, realize that families come to visit, but I don't know where Argon went, but hey, what are you up to next?
Wards.
I'm going to say you.
Inability and social interaction, kids, let's go!
At the risk of being cruel to Dave, though I love him, I'm going to say that Naxos, your 2 ciphers have been confiscated previously.
What?
By Omnia, but you know that Omnia would give them to the Guardian. So if you're going to try to get them back, the Guardian would be the person to talk to. I won't count those from your 5. If you do decide to give Naxos back her ciphers at any point, we'll get some new ones.
Yeah, I'm not giving him a corrosive gas bomb.
yeah,
I'm being very clear on this point.
Because they have
Naxos
theirs
does
and
not
I
get
have
that.
mine. Yes, I'm like,
But you have her ciphers and you know that they are hers.
I'm a he, or I could be a she. Fuck it, let's go. I'm a she. Naxos is a girl now.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, okay.
No, I'm just fabulous.
Maybe you do it.
But I can. Yeah, that's true.
No.
Even I don't know what.
No, that's fine. We'll go with your original. We'll go with the original.
I don't,
Whatever you think fits the character.
Yeah, sure. Guardian. I know you're very busy, and there we had a little misunderstanding where, Pearl and Omnia, she starts with the talking, and I was just trying to show my friend Nico something that I'd gotten, that I'd inherited, that is very important to me as a Naxos, and she took it quite cruelly, quite unjustly, might I add, and wouldn't even allow me to advocate for why I needed my Cipher back. Perhaps if you could say something to her, you could give me my merchandise back. It's very important to me. It's as dear to me as this hat.
How dear is the hat?
It is the Nexos hat. It is how people know me and know who I am.
If you didn't have the hat, would they not know you?
Well, they'll never forget me.
I will not talk to Omnia. I don't need to. I have your items.
Do you want me to tell you what the 2 items are? If it'll govern your decision?
It would very much influence my decision, yes.
All right. The first of which is, this is, it looks like something from a pair of spectacles for eye correction, but it's only one.
It's a monocle?
It's a monocle.
So much money. All right.
Yeah.
Hat with a feather.
I have a monocle and a hat with a feather. Yes.
Yes. You're just like a Dolomite,
paints a picture.
basically.
Yes, it is. I'm like a blaxploitation Robin Hood. Yes.
You're a post-human blaxploitation Robin Hood.
It's true.
Now with a monocle. This is called. The card says cat's eye, but yeah, you know what? It's called a cat's eye, and you don't know what a cat is, but it's called a cat's eye.
All right.
It grants the ability to see in the dark for 8 hours.
What level is it?
And it is level 7.
Ooh.
I think the levels also affect when, if there is an explosion or reaction between them, they can come into play then, even if there's nothing in the cipher that says like,
So to be clear,
it's that level otherwise.
It's a physical monocle which has this property that I could use once, but is it the type of thing where after that it will like disintegrate, or I will still have
Mundane
the physical monitor?
object.
Okay.
It'll just turn into a pretty
So
wobble.
what you're saying is I got a monocle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
You have a little bit of powers, but much more importantly,
Right.
you
That's
got
true.
yourself a
You
monocle.
got a small monocle.
Right. Mhm.
The other one is it's an injector, but it actually looks kind of like it's a rectangular object with pins that come out the side of it like little claws. So it looks kind of like a little beetle. But you know that it's a full rejuvenator that restores all pools to maximum.
What?
Ooh, that's really good.
You don't know where he got it, but
My power is maximum.
it's a full rejuvenator. That is a level 10 Cipher.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Also, be a quick question. When you activated your powerful rhetoric, did you do it for me as friend or fool?
Well, I have to get to the end of the minute, and then I decide.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
We're getting to the end of that minute.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to? What is your desired outcome? Because especially with social things,
Sure.
I don't want you to tell them how to role play.
Sure.
I think they already know.
No, it also
So-
it just affects mechanically if we have special rolls.
Right.
I just double checked what it was.
I didn't want to be too meta. So, but basically, what it ends up is I can talk to a person for a minute, and then I decide literally to myself if they're a friend, if they're a fool, if they're an enemy, and then that affects them socially from then on. So either if it's a friend, their social interactions gain an asset. If they're a fool, their social interactions are hindered, and if it's or an enemy's defenses are hindered. Like I can even like mess up people's ability to like resist me. Yeah. Basically that. I can make things socially better or worse, essentially. Yeah.
So, for instance, if at the end of that minute you wanted to say, okay, Guardian, you a fool, then in trying to make a persuasion check, I would be hindered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And therefore, his persuasion would go through a little easier because he's making a fool of me.
Or if you needed to talk to Prelate Omnia to get the thing, she could call you friend. Then
But
you have an
fortunately,
asset.
I don't. I have it.
Yeah.
Well,
reality.
my intention though, and this is not just because you have my stuff, my intention is to mark you as a friend because I realize you're new here and kids can be cruel and clearly you don't know how to carry on a conversation. So I want to kind of like, but I want the word to be out there that you're not so bad. But yeah.
I'm definitely so bad.
Unlimited power. Yes.
Itty bitty living space. Itty bitty office space. But yes, I have your items.
Oh, fantastic, because my eye is terribly affected by these garish lights in here, and that's why I need my lens. And also, I haven't been sleeping well, and I have my rejuvenator that, just in case, because I need to stay crisp, Guardian. I need to stay crisp. So if it's possible for me to recover my property again, which was taken from me quite unjustly, I'd like to think of you as a friend. I would like to think of you as someone that I could trust and talk to set things all right.
If I talked to Prelate Omnia, would she also say that it was taken unjustly?
It's just, who can say?
Omnia.
I mean, maybe. I assume she felt justified to embark upon her erroneous course of action. I just would like to be restored. That is all. And then we can all continue along with our day.
I'll discuss it with her. If it was truly unjust, you'll have your items before the end of green.
I bow super deeply.
with a flourish.
Exactly. Yes. I'm glad that we're friends, Guardian.
All right.
Friends.
So your social, you gain an asset.
I now overcome my inability in social interaction.
Cancels it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends helping.
But yes, I'll talk to Omnia, who is my bestie.
Yeah. I'm like, shine on, you crazy diamond. And then I'll leave.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, so I'll talk to Omnia while y'all are talking to your parents. Talking to your daddy.
Okay.
I don't call him that, but
You're like Warfather.
Warfather.
Wait, this is like Love Father and Warfather?
Love Father and Warfather.
Yeah.
Well, all is fair.
All right, so Baird is, you come down and he puts his arm around you and gives you a manly hug.
Hey.
And his hand is on the back of your neck, and he's just like patting you. He's very, very proud of you. He's very affectionate and sort of touchy in general.
I can tell.
He's a hugger, and he says, "Now, I won't see you again before the before cycle end, but I wanted to give you some gifts that I brought, and I know that you've been paying attention here in class, and that you're ready for this kind of responsibility. But there's some things that I have that some of which have been passed down in my family, other ones I had to barter for, but I want to give them to you, and I want you to use them just to thrive and for success. And so to you, he gives you this. He pulls out this thing. It looks almost like one of the fruits, like the sort of seed pods from. There's food production in today comes from. There are certain types of parts of the web that are basically like farms, and they react to different colors of the light and bloom in different colors of the light from the beam. And this one looks almost like one of those at first. It's a sort of oblong object, which has almost like sort of overlapping plates. But you can see he opens it slightly, and with a hiss, it opens up to it's almost like a nut that has two halves. And he says, "You can attach this to your what's the name of your weapon?"
It's just a double-bladed glaive.
It's a
I don't know what the
double-bladed
name.
glaive? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Glaive with a glaive.
Yeah,
you
like
that.
Tokyo. I heard you
Good
say
dog glaive, yeah.
Glaive with a glaive.
So,
To glaive.
all right. So he says this will take. I'm sure your strikes are strong and true, but this will if this strikes something, it will generate an additional burst of electricity.
That's awesome. Thanks,
So
Dad.
that's.
I thought you didn't call him.
I mean,
I don't call him Daddy. All right, there's
you're.
difference.
I mean, and you know that in Seeker's Bola, you are allowed to use ciphers and things like that. So he says, who knows? This could be what you use to
I'm already thinking of
disable
ways
your
to
quarry
use
in the
it.
big game.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe you can shock the quarry and get it to stop.
Well, we have to fight the players as well. The other
Okay.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe shock some of them.
Well, I prefer it. if you used it on the quarry, but
I know you're always giving me shit about it.
you know, I'm a pacifist and I don't like that stuff. So, but I understand. I don't encourage violence, but I've always accepted that sometimes we need to do our best to survive. And I think Kuthar would say the same to you. So just please follow his example.
I have been. He's taught me.
All right, good. I don't doubt you. I just I have a lot invested in you. All right, I can't lose you to anything.
Letty, why are you being so shitty to Dad? He's giving his
I'm
gifts.
not being shitty.
Or actually, so
other dad was
let
here.
me give you these. These are the cards for. Can someone pass these to Sam for me? Those are Naxos's confiscated ciphers.
Excellent.
I feel like we need to have like Dad
If you have.
pops.
Let's call them both dads, so they're both confused.
Yeah. Well, you can make up nicknames for him or other things like that.
Like Daddy-O.
Neither of their names start with O. I don't get it.
So this
Daddy
other
K
one
sounds kind of weird.
The other thing he pulls out is a small canister, and he says this has a gel in it, and it makes things super slippery, which could be good if you're being pursued or
That's perfect.
you know.
You can easily trap the construct.
Yeah, and that
Watch
one.
it slip and slide throughout the world.
This one's also level 6.
You're
So,
10.
I don't
Remember this.
Basically, spray.
Starting to understand how you guys were conceived.
No, they were conceived immaculately.
Like, hey, you're turning 18.
During cycling.
There was no nuts or gels involved.
There's some lube and an electrical grenade.
I'm coming of age, all right?
The conception was immaculate. They've been making up with filthy mouths ever since.
So these cards, they have multiple things on them, but it's just the one that I'm telling you. So in this one, it's shock weapon, and this one is friction reducing gel.
Lube.
Got some Astroglide.
Oh, it's inappropriate, Dad.
Save
That's the thing, though, is any jokes that you do know about, adult stuff, you are probably super proud to tell them whenever you can.
Oh, God.
Like when kids first learn to cuss and they're just like
shit.
They just go to town on it. They overdo it because they're like, oh, it feels good.
It's true.
Gross, Dad.
Little shits.
All right. So you have to be patient about this stuff.
So excited.
I saved yours for later because I think yours are better.
I can hear everything you're saying. I'm right next to you, Dad.
He winks at you.
I can see your face.
All this hate against me right now.
He goes,
You're all emo. I like it.
all right.
Temperamental.
So
We're the worst kids ever.
yeah.
Or the best.
Yeah,
So this looks like a chain of
Oh, is this my thing?
yeah. These are what he's giving to you.
And I'm also supposed to have a lucky oddity.
Oh, okay. We'll get an oddity. Some of you have an oddity as well, don't you? Okay. We'll get your oddities. I'll do that too. I had forgotten that up to this
I have an
point.
oddity as well, actually.
It's called my
All right.
personality.
Oddities for everybody.
You get an oddity, and you get an oddity, and you get an oddity.
So he goes,
It's just me.
you actually have one of these already. And he pulls part of your hair forward, and you can see he's woven a strand of beads into it. And he goes,
Tricks you.
if you twist these like this, and he shows you how to do it, he says, this will make you completely quiet. Not just for you, anybody near you.
Ooh.
So if you're in any danger, and you think that, you need quiet, then this is it.
You want to come with me in the arena?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste it on you.
I'm just saying. The game is coming up. We could need little sis's help.
And he goes, and then in the other one goes on this, and you see he pulls out your shiv. You see he has pickpocketed your shiv. He goes, I told you not to, but I understand.
Is he disappointed?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. He goes,
Disappointed in my shiv.
yeah.
But I worked so hard on it. I thought this
And-
one looked really good.
The craftsmanship is beautiful, honey. But
Disappointed, but impressed.
you know how it is to be a parent. Sometimes your kid does something bad, and you're like, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that." Damn, that's so awesome that you did that. Can't encourage it.
Yeah.
I can verify that is accurate.
I actually got in trouble for having a knife when I was a kid because I was whittling in class, and my dad had to be like proud and upset.
This is younger you. Right?
Art imitates life. You can see that he's wrapped what looks like some sort of webbing around it. Around the blade is now it's crisscrossed with this stuff, and basically he says, if you do activate this, it'll do more than wound the enemy. There's some code, some sort of virus in it, and it'll hurt them more than just the ordinary blade would, but it'll also slow them down or stop them. It'll disrupt them a bit. And if you're in the situation where you need to use this, you use it and you get away. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Only for emergencies.
Yeah. So
Just give just a poison.
just remember,
10-year-old. That's
life
cool.
is precious. All right?
Yes.
Especially your
Great
life,
planning.
your brother's life, any of your friends. Just remember, we go together.
We go together.
All right. So let me give you these. This is D6. They're both level 6, and you have sound dampener and disruptor. Whoa! Reach for it.
Thank you, long-armed friend.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So let's get some oddities. I gotta look up an oddity in the oddity table. Do you have? Do any of you have? I mean, an oddity is basically something like a cipher, but it doesn't have an actual purpose. If you have any ideas for anything you want, that's cool, but not necessary. Look up.
Just as an aside, the art in these books is just ridiculous. If you haven't seen like the Numenera books, and they're so gorgeous.
Oh, I love it. And it's good too that the art is so evocative, because otherwise, a lot of this stuff is just kind of weird and hard to picture. You know.
It's true.
A lot of oddities.
Yeah, a lot of oddities. All right.
It's a journey to really just go through them. An odyssey of oddities.
Yes.
I'm looking up the oddities table now.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I
Roll
can-
it. Let fate decide.
Yeah, I can look it up on my side if you want
Just
to.
verify.
Yeah, it's on page 307 of Numenera Discovery,
Okay.
the main core book. Who else had oddities? Perlethia
Do I
and
have
Nico both had
Discovery on
oddities,
here?
right?
I don't know if I have Discovery on my phone. I have the core.
Little string that go over your fingers, like little elastic silver string that goes over your fingers, and when you stretch it out, it exactly mirrors the webbing of the city of today.
Oh, so it's like a model, basically, like a little flexible.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
little
Snow globe.
Yeah,
Or of
just
sorts.
like a little stretchy string.
Is that your oddity?
That's my pitch.
Okay.
Dope.
Take it. That is as cool or cooler than anything on here.
What the heck?
Shucks.
Things.
Oh, do you have the list of oddities?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one for me, 'cause I don't know.
They're all weird. They're so weird.
And what does it mean to be a lucky oddity versus a regular oddity?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Probably just like it's like your lucky penny type thing. You know, you're like, this isn't just a thing I've got. It's like
It's not just a thing, it's a lucky thing.
it's a lucky thing.
Yeah, I don't know what a lucky oddity is.
Is there a way to roll on the table and let fate decide?
The oddities table is on 305 and onward.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a standard percentile table.
Yeah, let the universe choose.
Hopefully we'll be lucky.
All right, okay, this is actually a good oddity for you, Nico. It is a metallic device that creates one sheet of new paper each day.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm going to say it's basically like, it looks kind of like a scroll case,
Mm-hmm.
but you can pull a blank sheet.
Of paper each day.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I want you to keep a journal,
Okay.
all right?
Oh, wait, you're in character. I'm sorry.
He looks at you, says, you'll want to look back on this someday.
Okay.
It's also a good way for you to measure how well you're doing.
Okay, so I can measure like how different I am from previous Sierras.
This is your chance to write your story.
Oh, that's so cool. Thanks, Dad.
All right, so journaling. That's your oddity.
Journaling.
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 Unlucky journal.
Is that? Do you want me to roll for one for you, or
Yeah, sure.
let's see what we get?
Yeah, I can't find the roll table.
I can't find anything.
Pull it. There. Ready? So just roll a percentile.
We'll help you.
I kind of like this
Plan
actually. This is interesting. This is okay. So when it comes to typical furniture in this world, a lot of it isn't necessarily things like chairs. But it's more like hammocks, or surfaces that are suspended from.
I like where this is
lines.
going.
So I'm giving you a sex swing.
Sex swing. I got the lube.
I got
so,
a lube. I got
this-
a taser.
appreciate
I'm into
Dad
some
is just
spooky
throwing
shit.
You're
in.
all children!
We're coming of
16.
age.
Oh.
Yeah!
Coming of age.
All right.
Not yet, you know.
There's some things.
What this, in fact, this looks like a ball of yarn,
Okay.
but when you unfurl it, it's like a hammock chair.
So ball of yarn hammock chair.
So yeah, it compresses down to this small size, but all you have to do is just activate it, and oddities you can use over and over again.
Sick. I'm
They're
gonna use
so
this
minor.
all the time.
These are like things from Sky Mall magazine.
Yeah, Brookstone.
You don't think you need, but
I
you
rolled
really
on
do.
the table
Yeah.
for mine.
We got
And
it.
did you get something you like?
I got stockings that are always warm.
Oh.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
On your one good leg. Do you put it on your arm, the other one? One
I like
good
the
leg?
idea that,
Wait,
like,
hold on though. The other parts of your body that are or techno organic now, you still have sensation in those
Yeah.
limbs. Although sometimes you get very unusual sensations you don't recognize, but you can still feel heat and pain and other things like that. So, do you want to keep your stockings?
Yeah, I probably use the other one because I have to let get my techno foot I can't wear like shoes on it because it's oddly shaped.
Yeah.
So I probably use the other one as like maybe a scarf sometimes
Okay.
because it's still warm. Like
I'll say it still works.
yeah.
little
Yeah.
hat. Little cap.
Like a little Smurf.
Did I get this oddity from my dad?
Huh?
Did I get this oddity from my dad?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Here's a ball of yarn.
Yeah, I think mine is made out of some of the.
He didn't give it to you in this instance. You just had it.
Okay,
There's the
cool.
silk that my family works with occasionally.
Okay.
It's just this one patch when it got put together, it just stayed warm.
So yeah, it has special properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
And mine's just a guardian webby thing because I have silver web over me anyway. So
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So that took a while, but it was fun. And I'm glad we were able to integrate some of it into the story.
It's like RPG Christmas.
RPG Christmas.
Shelf
Now-
episode
now-
You get a Cypher. You get a Cypher.
Yeah.
Now that we have our toys,
I would
Yeah.
just
we
like
can
to
take them away.
I just like the record. I'd like the record to show that not only am I the only one that doesn't get an oddity, because I don't think I did. I'm the only one whose ciphers got ganked. Like I'm starting. Like
Maybe you shouldn't be a trouble puppy. And besides, I'm about to talk to Omnia and just very strongly dislike her, so it's great.
Okay.
We've established narratively already that she's like
Just- this is-
reborn superiority squad over here, so this is all gonna go real
No,
well.
you
This
start
is-
with an oddity too.
This is why I'm a mean girl, do I?
Yeah, you start with.
just
All
roll for
right,
it.
let's give you
But
one.
from where? I didn't.
It's
Here, I'll
in your
roll.
starting
Yeah,
equipment.
you can roll it.
Or if you want to roll.
Starting equipment.
I
So
think I think
I have the table.
wait, I think the oddity was my hat. I think that was my. I think.
Is it the one in here that makes bird noises?
Well, the head. Does the head make bird noises or do I? I wasn't
Yes.
clear on that.
Both of you can.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
I randomly like type thing.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hat makes you randomly make bird noises, and
Do you know you're making bird
You
noises?
start with
you don't
know
know
what
what
birds are.
You don't know what a bird is.
You start with
Right,
so
but
many
do you,
shit.
But
does
it's
he,
the word,
does he
whatever
know
it is.
that he's making noises?
He starts with so much money.
No, I've got a lot of
Yeah,
cash
9
from gambling on him. No, I have 19, in fact. Yeah, no, it's all money from him.
I just got 5. You want to share,
Alright.
maybe?
So can I talk to the Omnia real quick?
Share
Alright.
your wins,
The
Omni?
super
So-
pleasant creature?
Most of the yeah. Let's say Baird. Baird kisses you both goodbye.
My dad.
My dad.
All right. So I'll see you at cycle end. Yeah.
How far are we from cycle end?
7 cycles.
7. Okay.
So 7 days.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So he gives both of you a kiss, and then he heads out. And before on his way out, he passes you while you're going to talk to Prelet Omnia, and he goes, "Thank you, Guardian.
We go together.
We go together." All right. So Baird leaves. You're talking to Prelit Omnia. Y'all are you three are still in your or you're kind of at the foot of the wall that goes up to these balconies. Argon is messing with their ciphers.
I'm
in their
showing my
secret spot.
ciphers to her.
So you can see Prelit Omnia. She looks upset, and she's gathering up her things. You can see she has books which are kind of a rarity, and she's stacking up these books that are bound with this strange kind of. I mean, they're made out of contemporary materials, but they're very much in book form.
Willet,
Guardian.
you gave me some items the other cycle.
Ah, yes, the ones that I confiscated from Naxos.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
He was trying to lord it over other people with them and show them off. And I wanted to make sure that they, first of all, I can't, although he is a member of the Reborn, I can't have him fomenting a hierarchy that has anything other than dignified persons such as ourselves at the head.
Yes. Dignified persons such as ourselves.
You can, you don't have a high amount of sort of social awareness, right? So would I give you insights about?
But they have a bonus.
I've given them a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
I believe I have my inability, I'll have to check the specifics, my inability is in kind of like the active, so like
Gotcha.
persuasion
Okay.
check rather than the insight.
Well,
I don't think I have inability in insight.
All right. Well, we can also just say that this is something that you've picked up from previous conversations with Prelit Omnia, that she was one of the ones who didn't support when you were made Guardian, and she had a big problem with an Ariadne person being Guardian.
I think that's fairly intuitive, yes.
So.
Yeah, charm, persuasion, deception.
I feel like
is
we
my
all picked up
inability.
on that, though.
Okay, good. Pick up what I'm laying down. And she's just like, yeah, Noxos is a troublemaker, but he's going to be out of my hair very shortly. So we'll move on, and hopefully there'll be new students, new babies to take care of.
It is an auspicious time. Thank you. You've been very helpful.
She looks kind of weirded out, but she goes back to her stuff.
Same.
I watch about 20 seconds longer than anyone should.
Okay. Uncomfortably, she's putting away her papers.
And I walk out of the room past Naxos and just give a quick,
I would,
like, on my six, come on. kind of nod, follow.
To
I would
follow?
say,
Okay.
Of you three, the only one that would actually might know where Argon is because I actually kind of like you. Of the others is Nico.
Yes!
You might know where their hiding spot is.
Yeah, I've invited you in my hiding spot because you're like a cool little kid, and you're not these two. You're not a jock
Thanks.
or a mean
You're
girl.
not these two. Thanks. Jeez. To attack my person.
What?
You're not these two.
One of you is a jock, and one of you is a mean girl.
Also, that's just a
Touche.
statement of fact. I am not either of you.
Yes.
So-
Facts, I guess.
Facts.
So you know where my hiding.
Yeah, I would say the next thing I'm doing is
Going to
rushing
find-
to show them my new cool things.
All right, so you rush off to show them your goods. You two have a little powwow.
I do have a question, sorry, about my powerful rhetoric ability, that it's like I give people bonuses or hindrances, but it doesn't give like any sort of timeline. It's just like from then on. Like I'm like, this
It's
is
just
just
like-
how it is.
Yeah, because assets are fairly persistent, and there isn't an expiration date on that.
Yeah, I'm all like,
So
So
You're all
unless
right.
there's something that wrecks it, maybe?
yeah.
Unless you
Yeah,
say
let's say story-wise, if there's something
Until
that
you
kind of
change
shakes your
it.
confidence, or maybe next time you have a negative, what we consider to be kind of a negative result from a social interaction, then you might lose it.
Okay.
But we'll adjudicate
Oh, so
that.
instantly.
Right.
To be clear.
Ruben.
Well, now that you've got it, you're just going to sail through all of these tasks.
Now I'm just at a zero.
Now that you're at a
Oh
zero.
my
Now I'm just...
I love the idea of you just being surprised at how well talking goes for you. Like, Just like, why does everyone like me?
Again, I'm like, I spread the word that you're not all bad. Hey.
Yeah. I'm almost peopling as well as before this. Real quick, when I was double checking my inability, I saw that I get an extra oddity, so I rolled for it real quick. I got a glass cube that shows what seems to be a live aerial view of an unknown ruined city.
Awesome.
That's I kind of like the idea of an unknown city, because there's only one, and it's today, and it's the web in my hand,
Exactly.
and what is this in this cube, and they're the counterparts.
Yeah.
Cube is not even really, like, an idiomatic shape for us.
That's perfect.
So I have that.
Perfect. Emergent gameplay.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm gonna roll with it.
All right.
I love trinkets tables.
All right. So do Nico and Argon want to have a brief scene together, or?
Yeah, sure.
So Nico, you find Argon, and they're under this set of steps, which are unusual. There aren't really steps in most places besides the school.
The stairs are bullshit.
Yeah.
There you are. Where'd you go? I was gonna introduce you to my dad.
Oh, yeah. Next time.
Oh, okay. But in the meantime, can I show you what he brought me? Is this the coolest?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So first off, he got me this scroll. And it produces paper every day, so that I can like keep track of how different I am from like previous me's.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty cool. And then I also got this. All right, I showed you my knife, right, that I made already.
Yeah.
But check out the handle. Do you see that?
That's right.
I can poison people with it. Like I won't. But like I can.
But you could.
Yeah. And then I also got, what is this other thing? I already had it. I didn't even know, which is kind of tricky, and I don't know when it got in there. It's a little weird. But okay, do you see this braid here with these beads? If I turn them, I can make everybody stealthy. So like I'm really good at stealth. But
It's sound.
Sorry, sound. Okay, yeah, but I probably don't like.
Yeah.
So I'm really good at sneaking around, but like most of the time you're not.
Yeah, except for like when I was getting out of there, like my foot did a thing.
Yeah, but you like disappeared. That was.
I know, it was awesome.
Did your foot do a new thing?
It did do a new thing, and I figured out what this part of my arm. I think there's a like flex, and like it opens up, and you see there's like a white blade inside my arm.
That's awesome.
I don't. Yeah.
Is that like a secret knife?
It's a secret knife.
Oh, that's cool. That's like my secret dog.
But I think it's really really fragile. So
it's awesome. Well, okay, so if your foot thing's not working, my beads can make everybody around me really quiet too.
I'll be fancy.
But like I don't know for how long. So I don't know.
Now, one thing that kind of pops both into your mind, and maybe there isn't necessarily a reason to say it to each other, because I think both of you feel kind of restricted by being in this school experience, whether through personality and age, or just you have a lot less freedom now than you were used to having back when you were with your family and with the other Delves. You both think to yourself, how are we ever going to use any of this stuff, just being stuck in this school? Like, we never do anything.
I feel like that's... I was actually thinking that before you said that. I got real sad.
So,
yeah, real sad.
So, that project I've been working on, I'm a little further, because, there's just the one main gate into the school. And like, the Guardian, they're like, on it.
Well,
but
yeah, they're really good at their job.
They are. Too good. But I think there's a bit of the web around it that if you like go at the right time during purple, it's kind of weak.
Are you suggesting what do you think you're suggesting?
Maybe. What do you think I'm suggesting?
That we sneak out.
It's perfect.
Maybe.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
So your excitement is enough that I'm going to say, are there any other scenes that anybody who's still in the classroom wants to do?
Now let's freaking go. I give the boy back his stuff. We went to my office. I handed it over.
The moment I slip my monocle in, my hat goes brrr, and I'm like, I don't where is that coming from? I just
One of the other
Your
students
head.
runs up and is like, "You've done it! You've awakened Naxos's head! Oh, Naxos, I'm so happy for you! Are you gonna sing us a song?" Yes.
I mean,
Naxos,
You should sing.
Naxos, sing,
Actually,
sing.
you should sing us a song. I,
mean,
think that's a good idea.
you know, I can. I just did. Well, Guardian. Did you? Okay. All right, I sing. Yeah, I do. Sing.
All right.
I totally.
What does that sound like?
Yeah.
It's not like we just heard you singing earlier. We need a refresh.
I think you should role play it first, but then I'm gonna have you make a roll. It's gonna be an intellect task.
So, as you all know, I'm a student of the classics, and a song that has been handed down from Naxos to Naxos goes a little something like this.
All right.
This is gonna be world and immersion breaking, but I'm going to love it.
I'm very
No. This is etched in ancient runes that I've inherited
Just remember it.
in a
We don't know
songbook
what
from
rune
times
it
long
is.
past, and it goes something like this. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. No, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna, what I really, really, really want is zig a zig, and I point at the kid. Yeah, we'll finish it. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it. Well, yeah, you're good. Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
Yes, true. The ancient words of zig zig ah.
It is a long forgotten
We do
land.
not know their meaning, only that they inspire us to power.
And that they were a great source of spice, which
How-
was important.
yes.
Yes.
How wise.
Spice must flow.
I heard that was an important thing.
All
Oh, the
we've got.
spice.
Yeah, that we're good.
Less
From
flow.
I think we're good.
True.
I think that's all we needed.
All right.
I feel
So,
Success.
you know, I want to have you make make me an intellect task, an intellect check, and I'm going to say I'm going to call it standard, so difficulty 2.
Okay. So I have an edge on anything intellect based.
If you spend effort.
If you spend effort, or if
Then it'll cost
you
you
use a
two.
power that's a discount on
If you
spending
don't have
stuff.
skills, your
it doesn't
base roll is
affect
your
the
base
rolls.
roll.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You succeeded.
Yeah, you only needed a 6 or better.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, what we played out is what happens. You can see that some of the other students are just delighted. You know, delighted that you are a songsmith.
Yeah.
Truly, you are Naxos Stemwinder.
I tilt my monocle at each one of them, you know? And I'm like, also, later, kid, wait, is the Guardian still right there?
Do you want to be?
I'm definitely working on words and totally not paying attention.
Well, I sort of look, and when I notice that the Guardian seems zoned out, I'm like, also, remember everyone, while I've got your attention, that Prolethea Seekers Bola Championship coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
No,
If you
it's all
would like
good.
to play some,
It's
play
fine.
some little wager. Yeah, yeah. But hey,
How much is that wager?
gonna win. Great. Great. Yeah, but no, that's prohibited, Guardian. That's not a thing that happens. Yes.
See, some of the other kids are looking and they're worried about you getting in trouble. They all look like, ooh.
Hey, where's your sister?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
find
we gotta
her.
find sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to look for Nico.
We should go do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like overwhelmed, just nervous. I don't like being in front of people.
All right.
Which is weird.
So you two are leaving the
Just in
classroom.
general.
Yes.
And you're heading back towards your quarters, or just kind of look around the school in general for Nico.
Yeah, I'm following
and
him.
you overhear giggling and laughing, which I'm not gonna say you have to roll for it, but you recognize Argon and Nico's excited voices coming from underneath
We're so excited.
some of these bullshit stairs.
These bullshit stairs.
So we're gonna meet at like blue because it's only during purple.
Okay, so we like everybody,
here?
like all or like
What do you mean everybody?
well, like
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, what to meet for purple for what?
Yeah.
What? What's up?
Are you
hey,
following at a
purple.
distance?
Yeah.
I'm just
We-
checking the words.
we
Okay.
we like the four of us. We like them too.
What are we? I mean, I'm in, but what are we doing? What?
Yeah, what's
No,
happening?
wait. No.
What?
We can't go just the two of us.
When I hear her say we can't go just the two of us, powerful rhetoric again. I'm like, wait, so who's going where now? What?
No. Oh, okay. Shh. Guys.
I've been quiet this whole time.
Alright, come on in. Come on in.
All right,
You
no.
don't talk. This is my spot. This is my space.
It's nice.
What's a
Bit small.
What's a MySpace?
Well,
Oh,
only
You
my
got your face glass back.
only my top friends are allowed in my space.
I knew I was always one of your top
They can fit at
friends.
least 8.
Oh my god.
As it is written in the ancient scrolls. Yes.
I remember reading that in history.
So you guys know, like the gate's the only way in and out
Yeah.
from here. Well, I found a space that like gets weak and you can get through during purple.
Into yesterday.
No, out of the school.
Oh man, I was like,
Yeah.
But
You should have gone to yesterday.
no, Nico.
Wait, no. The Remember Hana went
There's a
to-
reason why we're in
Let me-
school and
We
not
can
there.
find her though.
I like
Remember?
We
what
can
am I?
find her
I have like a
though.
little like I'm keeping like dates like because I'm used to the cycle. I'm like, well,
Mhm.
there is a thing like my family. We go out into yesterday a lot to like find things and like.
See, they go all the
There's
time.
one of the cool silk deposits is gonna be like around soon.
Ooh.
But, well, okay, but more importantly though, the grand cycle is over in 7 cycles, and no one has found Hana. She has to be returned.
That's not up
I mean,
to us though.
yeah, that's-
But we
that-
could
well,
find her.
Yeah, but like a small
I thought
army
she
went
was your
after.
friend.
Audience note, like, bodies are always recovered from yesterday. Like,
Right.
they don't leave anybody behind. I mean, there are rumors that he gives power to the darkness to allow their remains to
A small
stay there.
army went after Hana, and one of them came back. What are we gonna do that those guys couldn't do?
Well, they're not me.
They're not
Well,
us.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
All right,
they
so
were much
pause
more
for a second.
trained.
I'm gonna play a GM intrusion for the Guardian. While you are
Shazam.
checking these wards, one of them makes an audible fizzing noise that reveals to these folks that you are in fact standing.
I'll accept the intrusion.
Sure, you're gonna accept the intrusion.
Mhm.
All right, can someone pass this over to Sam?
I'm going to give my donation to Nico, who is very solidly and enthusiastically a proponent of the bad idea in this moment.
Excellent.
Yes!
Bad ideas are good
Welcome
for
to
story.
my criteria for XP. So yes, I'm sort of sewing with what I see as the golden threads of the wards, and as I poke this arcane needle through, it fizzes at a point, and so you see me about 50 feet away.
Clearly within earshot. I mean, you've heard rumors that the Guardian has incredible eyesight, hearing,
Hi.
and almost
Hi.
supernatural awareness.
Hi, Guardian.
Hey, you're my friend. The Guardian's a friend. We're all friends. We're all friends.
Now that you're using the rhetoric.
I am, yeah.
Again?
I'm marking
It's marking
Argon as a friend.
I'm gonna walk up to the Guardian.
Nico,
Hi,
hello.
Hello, Guardian. How much did
I'm,
you?
well, I was gonna walk up to them, like,
Mhm.
away
Yeah.
from y'all.
Y'all are about still 50 feet away.
You're 50
Oh,
feet. And
well,
just
yeah,
walking
I
up.
noticed the
Yeah.
Guardian.
I'm certainly
I'm
there. I'm within your eye shot easily. Your shot depends.
I'm walking over with you because this is my bad problem and not yours, and I'm willing to take the hit because
So your social
Can you
interactions,
give me a minute?
sure.
your social interactions
Mhm.
gain an asset.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk up to the guard and I'm gonna say, Venus,
I haven't
I
heard
think-
that name in a while.
I think it's important that we find Hana
It is.
and that we finish what the last Guardian started.
The last Guardian is out there too. I can see the thread going out into yesterday. They need to be reclaimed.
I think it's important to do, and maybe if we had help, it would be easier.
There are only the people here, and we go together.
We go together.
When we say we, I don't mean children.
I do.
And Prolethea, on the one hand, you kind of feel like, this is my sister. But you also kind of feel like, well, maybe this is dangerous for her. You know?
So I'm trying to keep her here. But I'm also in the back, kind of like reading a book upside down. Trying to look
You're going to lean into this jock persona.
Just pretending. I'm like, I'm not doing. I'm just kind of listening.
I point it down. I'm like, that one's a picture book.
I knew that.
It's like art.
Then I just close it back and just like, Nico, don't we have a class to go or something? He's very young, doesn't understand the way of the world. I'm just going to take her real quick and we'll just be on our way, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, God. This hurts me every time I talk to you.
You also, you know that was the last class of the cycle, and now it's supposed to be sleepy time for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all turning in. We're sleeping. We're all tired.
I just want to get in trouble. The game is about to, I'd have things to worry about.
We're going to class?
Sleeping.
Sleeping class.
Yeah, sleeping class. We're going to sleeping class.
Nap class.
Yes.
Have a good time at napping class.
I always do. Okay, Nico, let's go.
Okay.
To sleeping.
Now,
Sorry.
here's another thing. If you were, if you're wanting to go into yesterday, you would probably want to get some equipment from the training armory, where there are filter skins, goggles, cloaks, various stuff that people wear when they go out into yesterday.
Which is outside of the school.
No, this is in the school.
The training armories.
The training armory.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. There are other bigger armories for the
Right.
sentinels and other things like that. But yeah, there's a training armory where the school's weapons and protective gear, mainly the protective gear, is what you will need. You have access to this armory,
Of course.
and you're the only one,
Mhm.
and I think most people know that.
Mhm.
So.
But they're going to sleeping class.
Yeah,
They're
of course,
definitely
of
going
course.
to sleeping class.
100% going to sleeping.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm like,
I'm chilling with Spot.
yeah.
Oh.
But, so, Guardian, how much did you hear?
Enough.
And, do I need to, what you gonna do about it?
Guard.
So, your job is to guard the students from danger wherever the students may be. And if the students are somewhere where they shouldn't be, then your job is to just make sure that they're safe. Correct?
Just like the last Guardian.
Just like the last Guardian. Alright. Not saying that there's a thing, but like the closest to yesterday in the back corner, third step from the left. Purple. And I'll go back into my hole, and I'll start putting
Back into your bullshit stand.
and start putting together, retooling my cobbled together filter skin.
Yeah.
Where did they tell you to meet? As soon as we're like out of earshot, I'm all like, where they? I heard half past purple. Where?
Oh, by the third step in by whatever they just said.
Yeah.
So, hear me out. Hear me out.
I like that you guys are role playing and being quiet and dynamic, but let's also think about the mics and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
They can, yes.
So you can do loud whispering. Loud
Loud whispering. Sorry.
Being too quiet has never been a note I've gotten. I realize that this is insane, and it is insane, but we're about to come of age, man, and we go together. Like, that's it. We go together. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
You don't understand. Nico left like 3 years ago into yesterday.
And
I had to
keep
save her from a gamma spiker.
Well, first of all, she came back. Second of all, that's why you should come.
That's why I need you from the beginning.
Right.
Or
You wouldn't go with me 3 years ago.
I went after you, Nico,
You just get some new like stabby shock ball thing. You've got it.
for the game, and we have to. It's against the rules. Ah,
Come on. Hey, I got a lot of money riding on you. I need to make sure that you come back safely. You need to make sure she comes back safely. She needs to make sure they come back safely. Maybe Hana has not been eaten. Who knows? But I think we should go check, and then we'll know. And we need to go before the Guardian finds out.
Is this what you want?
Hana deserves another life.
Fine. You spend one cycle.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to get back before class anyway, right? After I think somebody might notice. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's nap class time, remember?
Right.
End of classes.
Sleep class.
Right, it's true.
That's my favorite class, y'all.
Any class can be sleep class if you try hard enough. Yeah.
Our last class was sleep class.
So,
They're all sleep class if you do the
wait,
marathon.
but do we have like stuff? I've never been out. There's filters.
I have my equipment from Seeker's Bola.
I think we need more than Seeker's Bola stuff.
I don't know. It's pretty sick.
I don't.
Does anybody know how to get into the armory?
I mean, we could go check. I'm sure we could think of something. Well, it's fine.
We could check with Argon. They've
Yes.
got all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, but aren't all their fun things like built in?
They're still fun things.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know that they can like share. All right, nothing.
No,
Let's go.
we'd bring Argon with us, not take parts of
Well-
their body.
Oh, right. Oh. Well, yeah, because they know the way. I mean, yeah. Okay, sure, fine. All right. So wait, I think maybe the Guardian's gone by now, and we'll just like double back. We'll just
Yeah.
sack
We'll
natural.
just-
Argon, you probably have overrepresented your abilities as a guide in general.
Nah,
100%,
it's cool.
yeah.
It's cool. This is fine.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, we will.
Argon goes to yesterday all the time.
Yeah, wait like 5-ish minutes, and then just like double back.
All right.
Yeah.
Towards the armory?
Towards
Argon.
Argon's
Okay.
place. We're just trying. Hopefully, the Guardian has moved on.
Yes.
Is essentially
The Guardian has moved on.
All right.
the intention. Yeah.
I'm allowing mischief to happen now. Go.
Okay, good.
Sam is allowing mischief.
All right.
So I'm just putting my packs together of my stuff. Like I have like little holes like inside the stairs that people haven't seen. I'm just like pulling out bags of tools and like
Little
putting them in.
cubbies.
And getting all my stuff together. And the only weapon I actually want for my character, I don't know if it's something I actually need from the armory, is like in my thing is like this weird like quarterstaff kind of thing that has a hook on one end. That's
Uh-huh.
more for as a tool. Like it can be used as a weapon, but it's also kind of a tool that I can use to like
Okay.
grab things and like pull myself up.
Well, we can say that you have that.
Yeah,
You have that.
because it's not like it can be part walking stick, part other thing. But
Yeah. And the way that the Ariadne tend to move around the web and stuff, that there are. I mentioned there are kind of some sort of distinctions, morphological distinctions that are subtle, but a lot of it is upper body strength, stuff related to climbing, you know, so that sort of thing. So, and this tool could be a very traditional Delver's,
yeah,
you know.
it's
tool.
called like it looks like quarterstaff, but it's called Delver's hook.
Okay, Delver's hook. All right, yeah, and I mean, and Delvers carry them when they're in town and stuff too, just as a sign of like, I'm a Delver, I go out there. It's like a symbol of occupation in other ways as well. So you were allowed to keep your own for cultural reasons.
Yes.
So, all right. So yeah, you arrive and you see them packing up their stuff and like they're going somewhere.
Argon, we're in. Yes.
Yay.
But we need like stuff.
Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
things.
So normally, the only person allowed in the armory is the Guardian,
Oh,
Ooh.
but I might be able to get us in.
yeah?
Maybe.
Okay.
How?
Is this the same armory that? Where's the Seeker's equipment stuff?
That's the sports locker.
The
sports
sports
This is
locker.
the training
You
armory.
literally fight a construct, so I mean,
Right, and there's
Like, you
distinct
need
stuff
things.
from that. There's like a checkout process.
But the
Yeah.
training armory is the only place where you can get things like filter skin, which is
Mm.
going to keep you safe from the toxins in yesterday.
just making sure.
Because you don't need that.
Locations.
You don't need that in your games.
The path is
Yesterday is filled with unusual. You've heard reports, and some of you have had direct experiences. Areas of unusual gravity behavior, clouds of dust, of this drit, this radioactive dust. Yeah, you're going to need some sort of protection.
We didn't
So-
have a
This whole
montage.
thing is going to make
I wanna-
an incredible story.
Yeah.
Try to, as it gets into like light blue, try to get over to the armory, and I have bags of light tools, which include a lockpick.
Uh huh.
and I am trained in escaping, which might do that, and tasks involving chance.
I'm trained in stealth and climbing.
Okay.
But I don't know what the lock thing here is.
In this case, I don't think necessarily any of those apply. I think the escaping is more like escape artist.
Okay. I don't know what the
Getting out
specific
of
tool, what the
bombs or
specific
things like that.
skill
They're
for.
separate stealth skills.
Okay. For if it's different than sneaking.
Yeah.
Oh.
What
Yeah.
is the armory like as far as the sort of
Or how to get
construction
in.
of it?
The armory is a traditional Ariadne style addition, which has been grafted onto the. It hangs almost like a nest, like a pod that's strapped. But there is an actual door in a more traditional founder's style door, as opposed to like a membrane that cinches up or any of those other sort of things. In this case, it is a legit like door with a glyph that's a pass key through it, like a Numenera style
Okay, so
pass key to open.
is it?
the
So
door.
I think it's keyed to their hand.
That's what Argon thinks.
No, I mean, does that what it
It's keyed to a key. It's a traditional
keyed to a key?
door, and the Guardian is nowhere to be seen.
Mm.
They
can
don't
I-
appear to have eyes on you.
Can I climb up and see if there's any like openings or weak spots anywhere? Like
On the
Windows,
door?
air
I mean, you were
ducts.
kind of in a
like,
hallway.
Oh, okay. I was imagining it was like
Can I try to fake whatever is necessary, like to get through?
I mean, it would be like a manipulating Numenera check, which you have inability in, right?
I'm gonna knock on it,
All right.
I mean, it's a vault.
Yeah,
but
which
I'm
I
gonna
do
knock on the door.
All right. So
It doesn't. I don't know.
starts making noise, but nothing happens.
Yeah. I grab
Yeah.
Nico's hands.
Maybe someone's inside. They can let us in.
Sure.
Don't
I'll try
want
it.
to be seen.
All right.
That's the
I'll do the
opposite.
bad thing.
All right.
Do the bad idea.
So let's see.
I know that there are things that my body can do that I don't quite understand yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that this is a.
Yeah, it's kind of a standard lock, right?
Well, no. I mean, this is actually quite difficult. It's a Numenera based lock.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because they're the only ones. I'm the only one who can get in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a difficulty 5 task.
So this makes it a 6.
It'd be a 6 if you have an ability and
Yeah.
that stuff.
Okay.
So you need-
I am going to press my luck.
Okay.
It's I auto succeed
Uh huh.
on a 6 or less, difficulty 6 or less, but
Okay.
I get an intrusion as if I rolled a 1.
Okay.
And,
All right. So you press your changed hand into the synth stone console with the glyph on the door, and some small tendrils extend from your forearm and start clicking into various little sort of like pegboard openings in it.
Cool.
And then you can see the symbol on it changes to being from a guardian symbol to one that just says open. It just means open. You receive. And the intrusion part is you immediately know that this door has been opened.
Oh, I'm aware. I know exactly where I am, and I know that I know.
Okay. So yeah, you're all amazed as Argon opens the door with their strange hand.
Let's go in. Let's go in.
Yeah, let's go in. Let's go in. Like, go with the inside. Shh. If we close it behind us.
I'm gonna close
Do you
behind us.
know
I'm
if
gonna
we can
stand
open that again?
in like next to the door
To the side of it.
and listen
Okay.
for somebody coming, because this I am good at. I'm trained in both perception and sensing danger.
Perfect.
I'm
Perception check.
immediately looking for a filter scan and just like trying to like load up as fast as possible because I don't know how much
You
time
want
I've
me to
got.
make a perception check?
So
right now?
I'm going to describe what the training armory looks like really briefly, and
Okay.
then we'll get into what's happening with the actions that you've already picked. The training armory has multiple alcoves in it, some of which are filled with hanging filter skins, which are skin-tight suits of overlapping material. I guess the analog from our world would be something like leather. But yeah, they're they're woven out of materials that are so tight. Like the weaving is very high thread count sheets. Yeah, they're so tightly woven, this fabric, that it looks almost like glossy. And you can see that they're in that state now, that they're hanging in these alcoves. You know that they're basically one size fits all, and when you put them on, they change to your your particular anatomy, and they've obviously been cleaned and scrubbed of any drit that was on them, so they're very they're glossy and black, and they reflect the light sources in the room, which are sort of hanging glowing globes. Maybe there's a small globe ahead of each alcove, and then there's also something there's a series of suspended shelves on slight angles with a bottom lip to hold what's on them, but they're hanging and they're holding various weapons. Delve staffs, or what do you call it? Is that
Delve hook.
Delve hook. Sorry, delve hooks. But yeah, the in addition to the actual skins themselves, the filter skins, which you can see there are 2. There are other whatchamacallit. There's often more than 2, but it's not like you have tons of them, because it's not like you guys are they're meant basically to train you how to wear and maintain filter skins. Not necessarily that they have enough for all the students or any of that sort of thing.
No.
So there are 2 in various alcoves. The other alcoves are empty, but there are other pieces of protective equipment, cloaks and hoods. Some of these cloaks are ones where they have special fastenings and stuff.
So there's only 2 filter skins in the whole.
In the training armory.
In this armory, yeah, in the training armory.
On site.
On site, yeah. But there is protective equipment. And when people go out into yesterday, not all of them wear filter skins. Are actually kind of rare, and they're often passed down. And in some cases, the people who control their making are they use it as leverage for power. But there is other protective equipment that would protect you, at least from some of the environmental hazards of yesterday. And there are also light sources. Like very simple sort of ciphers that are light sources.
I grab the first filter suit and I throw it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I grab the second filter suit and put it on.
Okay.
I duck into an alcove.
So yeah. Meanwhile.
So let's do the way PvP rules work in Cypher is it's die against die. If you have skills or assets or anything, each level of training or asset or whatever adds +3 to your roll. So you will roll at +3, and I just roll on the dice.
Does sensing danger apply here as well? Because I have perception and sensing danger as skills.
I'm not dangerous.
Oh, you are to us.
Nope. Nice try.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm just asking. Yeah.
Don't worry.
I can tell you whether or not
there'll
I'm
be plenty
dangerous.
of awful danger for you to sense coming up. So.
Okay.
13.
I feel like
15.
I'm getting caught doing
Okay.
this.
Okay. So you've moved without.
So.
I don't hear them.
So you can sort of see a shot of behind where Argon is listening, sort of poking
I like the camera
their head
work. Yeah.
out and looking around, and it pulls back and pans up, and sort of twisted into the webs of the ceiling is the Guardian just sitting here watching
In the room.
because they were inside already.
All right.
I'm just sitting. It's great. They're
Okay.
causing chaos, and I'm just like,
All right.
I have receipts now all the way down.
All right. So yeah. So.
Hashtag receipts.
Hmm?
So are you allowing Argon to? Are you revealing your presence?
Nope.
Oh, you're staying hidden. Okay.
Yep.
And I'll be like, hey, give me one of them cloaks.
Yeah. I agree. Is there anything that approximates a bow and arrow, a simple projectile type weapon, or you were saying the slingshot, any sort of distance?
Yeah. Let's say there's a
It
sling.
does have armory in the name, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are slings.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a sling and
They're
a
made of
sword.
this webbing and they're beautifully knotted.
Yeah.
And they're almost their surface looks almost sort of like a cobalt crystalline color, but they're made out of these fibers, and you can tell they're incredibly strong but still flexible.
Beautiful. I grab one of those and I grab a swordy thing.
Like they have sort of glaives. They have sort of spear type.
I need
things.
something light.
Oh, you need a okay.
I mean,
you need
even,
a light weapon.
even if it's like a stick, like a
well, light weapon would be something like a dagger.
Little combat knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light weapons and light range stuff is what I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, there is a dagger of sorts. It's actually more like a knife, and they're used more for utility purposes.
Okay.
When you're out on a run, but it does count as a light weapon.
Perfect. And I do get the cloak, for them. Try and prepare as best as we can, basically.
Okay.
I'm like, we need to go fast before the Guardian gets here.
So Nico, this enormous, voluminous drift skin is much, much bigger than you. But then you put it on, and let's actually make me an intellect check.
Okay.
Let's see, and it's going to be. Now, normally I think this would be a higher skill, but I'm going to say that this is something you've learned about. You've learned how to don a filter skin. So I'm going to say this is a difficulty 2 task for you.
And my intellect, like my sort of general rank doesn't matter at all in
Your
this.
pool? No.
It's just a straight 20.
You're a pretty smart kid.
Yeah.
Street 20.
I got an 11.
All right, so you succeed.
You win the future.
Yeah.
With you pull on a few cords, and there's a hiss, and it shrinks to your diminutive body
And
size.
then I put my big sweater back on over it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm also the only
That your dad knitted?
Yeah,
Okay.
over it.
Your
so I
cardigan?
covered up.
Your battle
My
cardigan?
battle cardigan. And the only other things I want to look for is additional darts for my wristband.
Okay.
And I'd like to see if there's any armor that would fit Polithia.
Okay.
That was my next question.
That was your next question?
So I
Okay.
just want to help him find something, I guess.
Now,
I'm helpless.
let's see.
Help me.
Now I know it should be typically the task should be the same, I think, for so you were putting on the other filter skin, right? Yeah. In this case, I'm gonna say I would normally it should be a static thing, but I feel like you would have paid less attention on how to do this.
Yeah, I wouldn't have cared. Yeah.
So instead of documenting you having an inability around it or whatever, I'm just gonna say it's a difficulty 3.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
So I envisioned it being like the Flash, where you throw it in the air and then it's just on.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
like,
super flashy about it.
I'm like, no, we really need to get out of here before the Guardian.
Yeah, Purple's gonna be coming around soon. So.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
Speaking of,
And I'm gonna
Can I
say
get
that the
things?
major effect from you getting that 20 is that you know that this one has full power. You know, when you use their power is charged up, and you also know that Nico's is at about half power.
ooh.
It's been improperly charged.
Okay.
So you get a little extra bit of useful information from that major effect.
Okay.
Prolethea, you're a little upset that you didn't get a filter skin.
yes.
In fact, the filter skin that Naxos is wearing is the one you like to use when you check out from it.
I made sure your sister's good.
and yourself.
Do you want to try to cobble together? It won't be as good as a filter skin, but it will. But you can definitely. You're familiar with how to put together, sort of stuff.
I can aid you on that too.
That's the thing, yeah. Argon, you see that Prolethea is kind of struggling, and a lot of the choices that Prolethea is making are ones that would be very good for making sure you have lots of extra, protection and movement. You've got all that part handled, but there's some seals you haven't done properly between pieces of equipment. So, if
do you want to make that roll and I can be your asset?
You can be an asset.
Be an asset myself because I
the-
have the salvaging Numenera skill.
So yeah, how does that asset mechanic work? I know I've been
it
handing
reduces the difficulty by 1.
Okay.
In this case, cobbling together, I'm going to say it's a demanding task, but it's going to be reduced by 1 from.
And I have a
Well, you can only ever be with a 1 asset.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to think what other you don't have any skills and stuff related to this necessarily, do you? No.
Regarding
That is a glaive.
regarding putting putting armor on.
Yeah.
You can use effort is the one other thing that's gonna help here if you want.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
true.
You can draw out of your pool.
you could spend 3 points from your intellect pool on this task.
Basically, you know it's important, and so you focus and try really hard.
So you're using one. You'd be using one level of effort.
He's clever. He is trained in all tasks involving identifying or assessing dangers, lies, quality, importance, and function or power.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll give you a reduction of 1 for that too. Then.
All right.
So that makes that takes your demanding task, and with Argon's help and the stuff from your clever modifier, that brings it down to a simple action. So you still need to roll, but you only need to get a 3 or higher.
Oh, nice.
So
Well,
only a 15% chance of failure.
You kids were trained for this. So.
Got 13.
All right. So yeah, with Argon's help and what you know already, and just your own kind of sharp, you just it makes sense how these things would go together. Mm-hmm. And there were some there were some things that you take note of the fact that this is not for a game. This is legit. We're going. Well,
that's what I keep trying to think too, and that's another reason why I'm kind of
We gotta go.
teed off. Is there my weapon in there as well?
Yeah.
The double. Okay, I grab that.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's here. The one that's your favorite.
It's my favorite. I have it's like a handle, and you just like shing, shing, shoots out. It's extremely amazing to look at.
You don't even need a filter suit. You got that thing. Come on.
I can see your trickery.
Well, the glaive, your double-sided glaive is, let's say, it has a threaded portion in the center, so you can
separate it.
You can
turn
separate
it into two separate. I like this.
You gotta keep them separated.
Yeah, you gotta keep them separated.
As it is written.
They
in
need to be
ancient
together,
tongues.
though.
Are you gonna attach your new Cipher to it as well?
The shock weapon?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that's a...
You choose when to activate it. You can still attach it to it.
Oh, okay, then
Just load it in
for
there.
For sure, gonna put that on there.
All right.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna include that all in the task that you succeeded at. So
I'm done. Okay.
All right. So you see these folks getting kitted up.
Yep.
All right. And
I'll get to them when I get to them.
All
They
right,
can keep
fine,
on
fine.
and
Keep on keeping
we
on.
know I know.
okay.
We got this.
While we're assembling this, I'm like, you guys, the Guardian is brand new, and I don't want this to be a headache for them. So we need to go and get back before anybody finds out.
Look it, I'm stealthy.
all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So stealthy.
Let's go.
Y'all ready? Yeah.
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 All right.
That's not me being meta. I really
So,
want things to be good for the Guardian.
When we are out there, listen to me. It is dangerous in yesterday. I've been out there a bunch, and no, I haven't. and
They've been out there
I have a skill in sense deception. Is that a conscious thing that I have to try and figure? Because I overtly I believe them, unless it's because I want to believe them. But unless it's
I think it's more interesting for the story if you know that they are exaggerating.
Okay.
I've been out there a few times.
Right.
Well, I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but I've been out there a bit.
I'm like, wait, wait. Okay, so hold on a second. Wait, time out.
All right,
hold on.
we
Wait.
gotta go.
But you have done this.
Yes. I've been to yesterday.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. But cool. Yeah. No, it's fine. So we're
good.
It's fine.
Yes.
Girl.
It's fine.
Yeah,
we're good.
All right. So,
It's gonna be so much fun, Letty.
Nico,
Yes.
I want to have you make an intellect task
Intellect.
roll.
Okay.
And it's for determining what are the good options for ways to get through from out of where you are and towards the border from where yesterday starts near the focal.
In that, I'm
endpoint of the
trained
focal
in
beam.
climbing and stealth. Does that help?
What's that?
I'm trained in climbing and stealth.
And I'm trained
Does that
in
help?
navigation.
Okay, so yeah, I'm saying this because you've snuck out before, right?
Yes.
So I want to give her the opportunity to do some rolling. But again, if you're discussing this openly, then again, Argon, you could give her an asset.
I used to live in today. I'm not a school kid like y'all.
Indoor kids.
Yeah.
Do I even have any memory of leaving the school? Do I recall setting foot outside of these walls?
You have, but it's always been with supervision.
Okay.
and it's to go to places like the marketplace,
Okay.
or for supervision,
Right.
or for
Supervision.
previous cycle ends or other festivities.
So I've never been to yesterday, but
Never.
it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like going to Disneyland is going to today. Like I've been, but it's kind of like a big deal. Like what?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I mean, you're worried that you would be recognized if you went somewhere with too many people.
I actually need to find somewhere to stash my hat. Actually, just because I don't want anything to happen to it. That's what.
Texas, maybe you shouldn't wear your hat.
Oh, yes. I need. Can I swing by my room to drop off my hat?
Is it on
Yeah.
the way?
We're kind of in a hurry.
It's close. It's relatively close.
Yeah.
Okay.
While they discuss a plan
Yeah.
for how your group is going to try to head towards into yesterday, you can go do that.
I leave my hat and whatever of like my scarves and finery that wouldn't fit under the filter skin. I just like dump.
So
Oh.
you this is going to be a difficulty 4,
Okay.
a difficult task, but you may have stuff that removes it, like that lowers that, like training or. And,
Well, I've got training in stealth and climbing.
Okay, so the stealth will definitely reduce. Yeah, I think the stealth will reduce it by 1, and then Argon discussing routes that they know in various places will be like, oh, they interject at a certain point and probably say, oh, that way's always got people like this watching, or during this cycle or part of the cycle, or.
So then now it's a difficulty of 2.
Well, it started out as a did I say 4?
Yeah.
And now that's reduced to 2, so you need a 6 or better. What'd you get?
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
Huzzah!
Okay, so let me tell you what you know.
Nothing.
The sneakiest route is to go up one after leaving the school through the door that you used before. This is just the best one because there's the least distance between it and any other before you can get to other areas of the village.
Mm-hmm.
The sneakiest route you think would be up through the garden layer, which is closest to the surface and around the beam, and then there's a part of that connects that workers use, and a lot of the poorer workers live on the outskirts near the edge of yesterday. So there's a sort of slum area as well, and that would be the best area for sneakiness. But then again, on the other hand, if you wanted to try to use crowds to hide your passage, you could go through one of the main market areas, which is bustling at any time, at any point in the cycle. That does run fairly close to Sentinel Hold, which is a sort of fortress where a lot of the bulk of the sentinels and the guards, the various glaives and such that protect the village of today. So you've got an open, hide in plain sight, bluff your way route, social route, and then you've also got a sneaky route.
Okay, so we're going to sneak or go through the crowd?
Do we
Sneak, I think. We don't want to get seen.
Do we have any idea which way Hana went?
I mean, yesterday's one direction. So you know. I mean, what route she took?
Between the two?
No, it was really mysterious. It was like the people woke up and she was gone.
That's great.
And she didn't seem like someone who would easily, And her face was well known, because she was the first of her archetype to appear. So, yeah, you wonder. She didn't seem sneaky enough to have been able to do it on her own in a stealthy way, and you're guessing she would have been recognized had she. So you have no idea how she managed to get out to the border.
Well, I don't really know anything about all this sneakiness because I don't understand why you would want to hide this, but I can talk us through anything we run into.
So we'll go the sneaky route?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, cool.
All right. So the sneaky route has been decided. You come back from
I'm just with
stashing your
Nico. Whatever you want to do. I'm just here to protect you.
hat. Now your hat is an oddity, right? Okay.
Makes bird noises.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you had room for another cipher or not, but
No, the hat was my oddity.
the hat is an oddity. So, but would you have your other 2 ciphers?
I do, yes.
Okay, great. All right.
I'm glad you kept your face glass. It's cool.
So are the four of you ready to worm your way out?
Yes.
If it's time,
Let's do it.
we have.
And you're doing the sneaky route?
No, we're half past blue. We got to get there by purple.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah. To have as much time as possible before people notice you're gone. Yeah, that would buy you basically 8 hours.
Yeah.
If you in yesterday.
Okay.
One thing I would probably point out that both of you who had been to yesterday would know, and also people talk about it, is sometimes time behaves in a peculiar way. There have been groups of hunters who've gone out into yesterday, and they feel like they've only been gone for a cycle, but then they're missing for 2 cycles. You know, or
That very wild nonsense.
that very wild nonsense.
But our coming of age is in 7 cycles.
7 cycles.
Right. Nah, we're fine. It's fine. There'll be no
This is
negative repercussions to this course of action.
It'll be really
No.
quick, and
No.
we'll be very successful.
We're good. Yeah, we're gonna find Hana, and she's gonna be fine, and everything's gonna be great, and we're gonna come on back.
So let's get this going.
Let's go.
All right.
Once more into the breach.
So you make your way out. Can you describe to me what your strategy is? Are you just trying to like keep to the shadows?
as I said,
and
we're to get out of the school. We're not going out the gate of the school because I found a hole in the wall.
Okay.
That is only it gets like something weird about the web there. The word there is it you can part through it during purple.
Okay.
And so I lead them to the back of the school, to this part of the ward that we can push through, which also where I told the guardian to meet us.
Okay.
So we can part through there, and then I will try to navigate us as circuitously as I can to yesterday.
All right. So had you established a meeting point? Had you established that the guardian was going to go with you? No.
Just said where they
I
could
said
go.
some words at the guardian, whether the guardian
invite
caught
was
them or not.
offered,
All right.
but they have not RSVP'd.
Yeah.
All right. So you tell me when you pop up.
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
So you make your way through this hidden web tunnel that attaches to the outside of the school, and you make your way through, and you can see it connects up. It looks like it was a repurposed service channel to bring food to the school, but they opened a bigger one later, which went to another garden. Somebody else won the bid.
Yeah.
And connected to another one, but so this is an old disused one from the previous caterers. So you make your way through this webbed, almost like tunnel, and it eventually connects up. You feel yourself going up an incline, and after about 15 minutes of climbing through this, which is rather difficult for you, Naxos, but the rest of you seem to be doing quite well at it. Yeah. So it opens up into an upper layer of the web, and you can see the fading blue becoming violet light of the beam cutting through the center. And when you're here on the surface of the web, the inside surface, gravity goes out in a centrifugal way, but you can see the various foodstuffs and things like that are growing on these vines that are laced through the web on this layer. So you're basically in like these sort of like terrace farmed kind of fields, but they're all just different layers of web on the most surface part of the village.
Roughly how many cycles ago did Hana disappear in the old guardian and all of that?
About 90 cycles. So
Right,
about
so it's been a while.
3 months or so.
Roughly
So-
the same
Easiest
time
task
period
we
as
ever
that.
do.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So simple.
not counting time hijinks.
Yeah.
Chances are they're not just out there chilling. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're not
Got
sitting date and having picnics.
Right.
This is about recovering bodies.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
but the body's going to be far because, like, the city has moved 90 times.
Unless
Well, it's
been carried
continuously
forward.
moving,
Yeah.
a very small amount. So it moves slowly. And it takes a full cycle for it to
Right.
You know.
But it's moved a ways, is what I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, it would be.
You'd be going pretty well into yesterday, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not doing like the friendly bunny slopes yesterday part.
Right.
Yeah.
We're getting into like the black diamond, double black diamond kind of yesterday.
God, why's it got to be a black diamond? Oh, because it's the strongest.
Because it's the dopest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem. I mean, she was stupid anyway, so whatever.
Wow. That changed so quickly.
Okay.
That seemed a little forced.
So who is in the lead? Who is going first?
It is not me.
Argon, obviously, he's done this like tons of times.
I'd like to be helping.
They've done this tons of times.
And just like kind of like pulling both of them up when they need it. Well, not her. She just.
I'm fine.
Oh yeah. Every time you try to help her, you probably like pull away, like I can do it on my own or whatever.
Yeah, I do it out of instinct, out of brotherly love.
Yeah,
really. I'm just
yeah.
like, come on.
I get it.
Alright, so
So you make. It's going to take. You can see that there are tenders who are working on various parts of the. They're not very many because this is not part of the quality of light from the beam affects how things grow here. And this is not a cycle where things need to be turned or fixed or tended. So there are not very many folks out there, but you can see in this area. You know, it's a good. It's the size of three Seeker's Bola fields.
It's huge.
Yeah,
It's huge.
We're passing food, right?
yeah.
Can I,
You're
grab,
basically you're still in the center. Yeah, you can grab something.
These are stem winders that are working.
Yes.
This is my ancestral people.
Oh
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
true, yeah. Naxos took one of the previous Naxos took an Ariadne name, which was an occupation-based name, which was Stemwinder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally getting some food though.
I'm gonna just grab a couple of not a lot, but just I don't know how long we'll be gone.
It's true.
Okay, so you grab some. I guess
Snackies.
the closest equivalent would be an eggplant in our world. But,
Okay.
but yeah, there's some.
Sick.
in my head,
Sick.
in my head, some of the food is like the apple buckets from Return to Oz,
Oh.
where you have the big fruits and you pull them down and you open it up and it actually is just like food inside of a bucket. Like, it's like
This is a shape, yeah,
Yes.
apple-shaped bucket.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just got like other things in it. Like it. If you haven't seen Return to Oz, it is creepy as hell, but
Yeah.
it's great.
I actually went there with a bunch of kids for I think my 9th or 10th birthday party.
Mm.
Should see how old I am. It was in theaters, and
It's-
I took a group to see it.
That's that movie. When
It's
those movies,
fucked up.
It is that's
Yeah.
when those movies
Yeah.
that like ruined my child, like hurt me as a child.
I have
It's
never
real cool
seen
though. It's
The
got some
80s
real
were
cool visual stuff in it.
amazing.
You did mention last time there were like gossamer fruit. You were saying is one of the things that like glows like on the inside.
Yeah, with a glow, like it's partially transparent. That's not the sort of field that you're in now, but
Right.
Does it glow as you eat? Like it comes down.
That's-
You get to see it, like kind of illuminate the inside.
Yeah.
So it's like
Really
love.
cool.
Let's keep
Yeah.
going, guys.
It's like love.
Let's
All
keep
right.
going.
Yeah.
So I want you to make is stealth a speed check usually? All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have. Well, see, you made one earlier for the intellect things, and you're in the front.
Mhm.
So I'm actually gonna have you make the speed defense roll, or not speed defense, the speed roll.
Okay.
To basically the stealth check.
Okay. I am have inability at sneaking,
Okay.
And you
But
already
I-
spent your
but I'm skilled at navigation.
Okay.
If that helps.
The navigation was really picking the route.
Okay.
And I think the route is established. You're confident that this was a good route.
Is she an asset with her sneaking? Can I have?
I would only say that if she were the sort of person who would be focused on helping everybody sneak. And I think that you're probably
it's
just
okay.
trying to do the.
I'm okay with the bad thing.
You're trying to
so
be as sneaky as possible yourself.
what is my
That's
right.
what's my
Yeah.
difficulty?
This is a difficulty 4 task.
So it bumps
I
it to
also-
5 for
So it
me.
bumps it up to 5 for you.
Okay,
Becomes challenging.
That's
I'm
very
going to
Yeah, you can spend
some-
effort.
I'm going to spend some effort.
Okay, so 3 points of effort from
2
yours.
points because I've edge.
Oh, you have edge in
Yes.
speed, right? Okay.
So my speed pool is 18, so I have 16 left.
You've got like a crazy intellect pool,
I have an
don't you?
analogous intellect pool, yes.
Yeah. And intellect is used to, just to review for people who are playing. Intellect is social and sort of acumen stuff, but in speed is reflexes and a bunch of other things. So I see it's 3:01 p.m. right now. Do we want to try to wrap up in about 10 minutes or so?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that cool with everybody? I don't want to keep anybody too long. I had anticipated y'all getting a little further than this, but that's always how it is for me. I always like if people are engaging with the content, I just kind of go with it.
Because we had RPG Christmas.
RPG Christmas.
So good.
We didn't even have to kill anything
Guardian
to take
ain't
it.
helping
Yes.
you here.
I think the
This is your choice,
pacing
friend.
for
I'm
the
gonna stick
next
with my-
3 episodes should be a lot faster.
Yeah.
And we've covered a lot of this
Stick with
stuff.
my dice envy.
All right, so go for it.
So it's now difficulty 4.
Mm-hmm. So you need a 12 or better.
Okay.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Ah, what? Less.
Did they
11.
do it?
11.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
well, you missed it by 1,
Missed
huh?
it by 1.
Missed
Okay.
it by that much.
Oh, man.
All right. So as you're moving along, you think you're doing a pretty good job of keeping everybody quiet.
But you're not.
But then you realize that that there was another angle that you didn't anticipate for, and from over from that direction you hear, "Hey, what are you kids doing? Run! You're not supposed to be in here.
Ah.
These crops are delicate."
Book it.
They're running. So
I just start running.
Nico, let's grab.
All right.
Running out.
All right. So in this case,
Can I use fleet foot or
fleet of foot.
Yeah.
Ooh, fleet of foot.
Says also.
Let me see.
What does fleet of foot do?
You can move a short distance as part of another action.
Oh, basically.
Oh, that one lets you move and attack rather than the move eats your action.
Yeah.
Sort of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Separate from the skill in running or skill in
Yeah,
movement.
you
Like
short
ranges
distance
and
from another
distances
action.
work in like
So-
immediate, short.
You can move
I've
a
got-
long distance
I've
as your
got
entire
slip
action
into
for a
sha-
turn.
Oh, sorry.
Because normally you can just move a short for your action.
So Prolethea, you can hustle, but I want to let you know that
You'll be leaving behind.
you'll be leaving peeps behind.
I can't like just put her on top of
I
my
have
back and
fleet
just
of
like
foot
Yoda.
too.
You are also fleet of foot?
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
sick.
But I also have slip into shadow, which is cool for me. But is there any way to use additional points to help other folks?
Are we
Yeah.
being pursued? I know we've been seen, but are we being followed?
He's coming towards you.
Okay.
That's one
City
guy.
guards.
When they run, I turn and face the guy.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you want to run or try to slip in the shadows on your own?
Yeah.
What's funny is I can.
I will slip into shadows on my own.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're relatively hidden. Actually, make me a stealth check. It's another speed check.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
You know-
slip into shadows doesn't require a speed check. It's just you spend the effort on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
you spend
It's
points.
the points on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
A lot of
spent
spends
intellect.
will just go
All right.
through.
So yeah, you have faded into the shadows of some of these agricultural webs. You're very close to Naxos, but you know that no one would see you.
Okay.
Right.
And also, you're hoping that maybe they didn't count you because it looks like they spotted heads. You know.
When I see
No. That heads is not here. I would not risk that sweet creature's life.
when I see Nico dip into the shadows, I'm just gonna join.
No.
You already booked.
No,
Are you-
go.
are you-
No, because like I'm just like at this point, like what am I running for then? I'm making sure that they're safe.
I'll let you extend it to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That.
All right, so you two are hidden. You're standing there with your hands on your hips,
Yeah. So when
and then what is Argon doing?
I was booking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, you can be booking it.
Yeah, I'm booking it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I want you to book.
Yeah.
All right.
I see this.
So he, this guy makes it up to you, and you can see that he's very clearly a tender. And his hair is braided up into a tight ridge on top of his head. And he's got his various tools and stuff hanging from his belt, and a sort of a net slung over his shoulder, which it looks like it's got sort of fruit in it that's like rotten, like not correct, like he's been going around pruning.
Farm
And
daddy.
he goes, "You're the reason all this stuff's getting damaged.
So-
People are not supposed to come through here."
So he should only be able to, like, theoretically he can see them running. The two of them are ghosted. It's
Yeah.
just me, right?
Yeah.
You tell your friend that they need to stop.
So I'm going to activate Demeanor of Command.
Okay.
So I emote confidence, knowledge, and charisma, and and basically I can more or less make him do things. More or less. So I get a free level of effort. And I have a question. So I get a free level of effort on my persuasion task. And my intellect gives me +1. Does that mean I get 2 free levels of effort?
No. If you spend extra...
The edge just reduces the cost to activate that to the point that it would be cheap or free.
Okay,
but you can only spend edge as one part of an action.
Right. Yeah. So this is still going to cost me like the 1 point. Okay.
Okay.
So when he comes up to me, I'm like, "Okay, excuse me. You're not supposed to be here right now. This part of the field is supposed to be clear. What's your name?"
All right. So roll me your persuasion task.
So well, I don't know.
You should have some skills as well.
That's an intellect task.
Yeah.
Tell me what you got.
What's a 16?
What was the difficulty?
You got a 16?
Oh, whatever it was. With all of your,
Yeah. And for the beginning part of this, I'm going to be more often than not telling you what your difficulty numbers are, just to make it easier. But we'll get to a certain point where I don't have to
roll it.
You
see,
know?
let the fates decide. Yeah.
Well, no, I'll tell you up front in most cases. In this case,
it guides effort spending and things like that.
Yeah,
right, I understand.
In this, I'll tell you. This looks difficult or this looks impossible if you don't have help. In this case, he goes, "Wait, are you?"
Yes.
Naxos Stemwinder?
No. That is not who I am. And you are not going to tell anyone that I was here. Do you understand?
Yeah. Listen, when I was a boy, I saw, well, not you, but I saw Naxos perform and...
Excuse me.
You seem young. Are you out of school yet?
Excuse me. I'm here on very important official business, and you're not supposed to be here, and no one is supposed to know that I'm here.
Why are you dirtying yourself in this area?
What's your name, man?
Livron.
Livron. When I come back, when we meet for the first time, I'll give you an autograph, and we'll take a picture, we'll do whatever you want, but right now, you cannot be here, you cannot see this. Okay?
Okay. Don't forget me. I'm your biggest fan.
You absolutely forget me. Okay?
I mean...
Yes.
Yeah. I'll forget you.
You don't know what you're jeopardizing right now, okay?
Okay.
This is important.
Okay, but tell your friends to be careful.
I don't have any friends.
Well, tell your acquaintances.
We're not here, LeBron.
Okay. All right, well, go. There are other tenders, and they're not as big fans of Naxos as I am. I don't think anybody is.
That is... Under very different circumstances, this would be amazing, but right now, I'm kind of in the middle of a thing.
All right.
Go.
We go together.
Not this time, though.
All right.
Right. And does he leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we pop out of the book.
Right.
That was amazing!
Out of the webs.
Let's go.
All right.
I'm hiding by a tree. Not very good. I'm
up ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, where'd you go?
So they catch up. They catch up on the edge of the field. We'll call it a field for now. And
technically that affects everyone that sees me for the next hour. So even I walk up with my Conor McGregor walk.
Yeah. Strutting.
When it's time to go, I'm like, that's right.
Does that because I have that where I see through all your lies and such.
I'm not lying.
Or whatever you say.
He thinks he's that awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on the edge of this agricultural area, and it's starting to descend down into further. You're going more towards yesterday, and the strands of the web become more sparse, and there's greater spacing, and the ones that are there are larger. You can see some very thick, big enough for a person to walk on the inside of anchor strands. Some of the very old original ones that extend off, some of them even beyond the barrier into yesterday itself, some of these most remote anchor points. And then scattered among them are basically like the equivalent of sort of slums. So this is a much more economically depressed part of of town. And it's also more likely to be dangerous. The Sentinels are not in this area, but yeah, you're kind of in the hood at this point.
I ready my knife.
So it's 3:10. So do we want to stop there and cliffhanger
I think
a
we
bit?
need to get to yesterday. Yeah. We need to get to the edge.
I mean, if everybody's good to keep going.
Yeah.
Unless you had something
Let's
that
get
we were gonna
to yesterday.
Okay. I mean, yeah. All right.
The episode is called Into Yesterday.
Yeah, you're right.
That seems like the...
Okay, so again, this is if you. How do you want to approach this? Do you want to try to stay super physically hidden, or
would I know one of these that me or my family use? As a way out?
Your family is from a slightly better area than this, but was originally from this area.
And you usually, like, you have to take the path. So there's a path that they're going to take.
Yeah,
but it's like, it's a silk sieve path. Like, it's...
You know a secret silk sieve path, which runs, it's crazy. It runs directly beneath the terminus point of where the beam ends, which is a sort of suspended thing in space. But also, when you're moving through this, even though it's like a tube, there are some places where you can be on other surfaces. And when today itself moves, it doesn't just move laterally, following this light of tomorrow behind the shield. It also twists. So you think you know a path that the silk sieves use. It takes you quite close to the terminus of the beam, and that's where the field begins that keeps the dust and stuff from yesterday from blowing into the slum. But you look at it and you can see there are areas in the slum where you can see that shield doesn't have full integrity. And there is some drit and radioactive dust here in this area. But so you can, that there's risk of exposure, but you also have you have equipment for that.
Okay.
You want to lead people down that route?
We'll go that way.
Yeah. All right.
Margon.
Yeah.
Is this safe for people who aren't in slip suits?
Generally, but we're all in slip suits.
Filter skins.
Filter skins. Sorry, just making words up.
We're all in filter skins.
That's what you call it.
So the kids say.
We're all in filter skins. I'll cobble something onto Perlethia and
Hey.
Well,
Mine's just as good as everyone else.
is good.
well, mine
doesn't
look as put together as yours, but I have one.
But I trust you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I mean, just stay close.
All right. So you
stay close.
You wind your way along this strand, and you can see it starts to separate at some point from where it's anchored to the greater part of the web and stretch out into the distance. And you can see some of these longer strands that go out into yesterday, and some of the most edge anchors of the village of today. They sway with tension, and they sort of groan and moan, and sometimes there's a sort of like a ticking sound, like when something that's been pulled taut is sort of
like the steel cables on a bridge.
Steel cables on a bridge, exactly. Which is a lot like what these are.
Sound like lasers.
Are we moving at such a speed that we can physically observe the city moving, or is it slower than that?
No, it's slower than that. Yeah, it's slower than that, and also in some ways you've become so attuned to its movement that it almost doesn't feel like it moves to you. It's something that's so fundamental to your existence that you don't even necessarily really
It's like a long time
notice
on
it.
boat.
Yeah.
It's like we all live on cruise ships.
You just forget the waves.
This cable is basically going down at a slight angle and sort of arcing around. And then you can see now you're suspended above some of this other sort of slum area. So you're not along one of the edges of the walls. You're more sort of going out into space. And you can see it's crossing over. You're crossing near to the terminus point of the beam. This focused beam comes out from the shield and goes through the center of the village of today, like the cream in a Twinkie, and then it ends at this. You like that? That means something else to some people. And then so there's this floating. Well, it's not floating. It's suspended. This terminal beam where the place where the beam ends. And you want to continue moving past that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel there's a bit of a wind starts to pick up, which is alarming because to people who haven't been this close to the border, like wind isn't really a thing, you know.
This is what the Dell folks are for. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of instinctively put her behind me when the wind starts.
Okay.
Fine.
Interesting.
She's so little.
Yeah. Don't blow away.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps trying to steal my sister. It's getting real annoying.
She's so
right now.
cute. That's what it is. She's just so cute and
It's very
murdery.
stabby, yeah.
I also put her behind me. There's a second behind.
No, I protect her.
You guys are fine.
No, you can absolutely be in front of me. I'm just putting her behind
I'm just
me.
forging ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So as you near where this strand starts to you're not at ground level where the strand anchors. When you get to the area where the terminus beam is, and you see occasional shimmering filling the entirety of the cylinder. That you know that this is where the field ends and this force field ends, and that yesterday officially begins. And the first part of yesterday you can see beyond into it, but you only see it's very impressionistic almost.
Yeah, right before the barrier, I'll stop
Okay.
and turn to them.
You know, there are 17 threads where you've already died, at least one of you, by the time that you got to this point. And in using a little bit of the shimmer to have disguised their own, you see the Guardian, who's been waiting.
This strand also its gravity is focused onto it, so you could even you could have been following them on the underside of it possibly if you wanted to.
Hey, I knew we could count on you.
So
what you're saying is we're already doing better than you thought.
There are many of those threads. There are threads yet where you die out there. There are threads where I try to catch you before you leave. But in all of those threads, all of you die. And they're the ones where you evade me. They're the ones where I catch you and you wait and you leave another day before the cycle. And I try to catch you again. But every single one, you get away and you die. The only threads where there's a chance, can't even see them. But that means there's hope.
Because you can't see them? That sounds kind of depressing.
So what you're saying is we don't die for sure. So there's a
Wait,
chance.
I think
Wait.
what they're saying is, on the other side of this barrier, we have to rely on each other. And before we go across, just know that we gotta trust each other. We gotta work together. We go together.
It also sounds like they're saying the only threads where we maybe don't die are the ones where they don't stop us.
Exactly.
So they're saying we go together.
We go together.
We go together.
Webb, help me. We go together.
We go together.
All right. So you, as a group, you prepare to journey down the rest of this strand and cross the barrier into the first section of yesterday, which is usually referred to colloquially as the Long Dark.
Sounds fun.
So we are gonna stop for today there as our group put together. I hope this wasn't too slow for people for a first game. There will be some more action in some of the next ones.
Running and screaming.
Crying
and all that.
Loving and hugging.
As
But,
we go together into the long dark.
As you go together into
Like
the
a
long
Twinkie.
dark. All right, so I'm Alquin Gersh. I'm at Different Elves on Twitter and all the other good stuff. I have my own Twitch channel as well, which is twitch.tv/different_elves, different_elves. So yeah, you can find me there. I have some of the games that are on my own channel are kind of in a holding pattern right now, as the people who play in them are doing very fun life stuff. But we'll be picking up more, and you can see me running this next week in our next game. And we'll also have a Poisel's Shadowrun game
Next
coming up
week?
soon. Yeah,
Not
starting
this
soon.
Monday, the one after.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
this Monday, the one after.
So yeah,
And please catch me at literally 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. Pacific time today, so 1 hour and 40 minutes from now on Saving Throw Show for Tempting Fate, where we are playing Men in Black, or, NBs in Black.
everybody gets neuralized.
It's true.
That's what Victor was doing the other night. I liked that.
Yeah. I was wiping a lot of minds. Yeah. I guess since we mentioned it, catch me on a little show called Vampire. Yeah. Friday at 8 p.m. after Sam is Callisto 6 saying I'll be vampiring.
Yeah,
in
Callisto
Cipher.
as business day Walters.
What even is
Venture.
Callisto? Yeah.
6.
We might find out next episode.
You say that every time, but
Yeah.
one of these times is going to be true though.
Also follow us. We've got Uncommon Trust on the Twitters and on the Instagrams.
Yep, we're on Facebook also.
We're gonna be
Instagram.
adding more of the things to those. They're new little things right now, but they'll get bigger. And the Discords.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Discord now.
Where can they find you in other spots?
I'm on Instagram at astronaut44. I'm on Twitter at mooncladash, though I don't use it much. But Insta-me.
Insta-me.
Yes.
All right.
Poisel, where can they find you?
On Twitter at apoisel, on Instagram at a.poisel, and on Patreon at patreon.com/poisel, where I make leather things, I teach how to make leather things, I talk about leather things. I need to catch up on that a little bit. It's been a busy month. And you can find my actual leather stuff for sale on etsy.com/shop/winkworksleather.
Excellent.
Wink. Works. Wink. Wink.
And D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan. You can find me also at all Crystallized Music. I'm one half of Crystallized, or you can follow my personal stuff, D_Crystallized, which is I don't really use it too much, so follow Crystallized.
Excellent.
I'm on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky.
Excellent.
Where you can catch up on all of my things. I guess I'm on Instagram at Delevely, DELEVELY, but mostly you're just going to see pictures of my puppy dog and my chair tipped over.
It's true. And also thank you to QueueTimes for hosting us. Thank you,
thanks.
QueueTimes.
Big thanks to Kareem,
Follow
William,
QueueTimes.
and Jake, and all the folks at QueueTimes. We really appreciate providing their studio and platform and knowledge. So we'll see you next week. We go together.
We go together.
Together.